Full Throttle Power Sports, located at 101 Indian Walk off I-85 in Laurel, online at ncfullthrottle.com, and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
At Coyote, we're going to treat you like dirt because we hold dirt in the highest regard. We're honored to find it under our fingernails, lucky to be caked in it at day's end. It keeps us humble, honest. Dirt gets taken for granted by most, but if you know us, you know getting treated like dirt means getting treated with respect. Coyote, we dig dirt.
Your Coyote dealer is Weston Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 intersection west in Vail.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain.
What do you need to be happy enough to walk away from work? Most adults agree that confidence in their retirement plan is the #1 answer. Hey, we're here with Joe Pat of Belmont Capital Advisors. And Joe Pat, how hard is it to build confidence in a retirement portfolio?
Mark, you would be amazed how many clients, how many folks come in for the first time. They're nervous, they're a little bit anxious because really they've never sat down and actually looked at a retirement plan. But what's amazing it is whenever they can walk away knowing that the confidence of where their income's going to come from. And so many times folks that were coming in nervous walk away with a lot of confidence because they're in better shape than what they originally thought.
And Joe Pat, this is why you offer a complimentary one-page retirement income plan. No cost, no obligation consultation, and includes a deep dive into our portfolios. So take me through the steps of that one-page retirement income plan.
It's really about why guess when you can know. Think about that. Why guess? Why wonder when you can know exactly? So our one-page retirement income plan is going to walk you through the steps. We're going to figure out exactly where you are and then show you what your chances are, how you're doing, and if you can retire with confidence on your terms.
How can you protect your portfolio and build retirement income? We'll take advantage of the complimentary one-page retirement income plan from Joe Pat and the team at Belmont Capital Advisors, 704-946-7000. Or you can see all the services Joe Pat and the team offers when you visit belmont-capital.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Fusion Capital Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Belmont Capital Advisors, Inc., NC license 10000473399.
Flooring America in Kings Mountain and Carver One Flooring Home in Gastonia have some great news. New LVP flooring that's waterproof. Hey, and it's also pet-proof. And even kid-proof. But best of all, it's only $319 a square foot. That's right, LVP waterproof flooring for $319 a square foot from Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, and Carpet One Flooring Home, 2757 East Ozark Avenue, Gastonia.
You pull, you save money at Auto Parts U Pull and Scrap Metal in Shelby and Lincoln. And yes, they buy cars and trucks, any year, any size, any condition. They'll even come and tow your vehicle in. They might even buy your house. They also buy copper, aluminum, steel, cast iron, tin, and brass. See the king of parts. That's Auto Parts U Pull and Scrap Metal. Open 8 till 5, Monday through Friday at 1025 County Home Road in Shelby and 851 Car Farm Road in Lincoln. Online at autopartsupull.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com. And like them on Facebook, too.
only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do. When you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat. Showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me. Cause that's who I am.
See if we did this right. Good morning. You can turn Robbie on too there if you want
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry.
I'm happy Saturday, everybody. Good morning. I'm Kevin Hastings along with Terry Reinhardt.
Turn Robbie off there.
Terry Reinhardt. Tom is the engineer today after we fired JP finally. And you know the thing about it is we could probably talk about JP for the next 5 minutes before he gets here with
He
our
wouldn't
biscuits, and he has no idea.
He's not even listening.
He's watching some anime or something on his phone while driving, probably.
But I'll tell you what, man, I made a mistake last week because I went out to Calvin's remote and he was out there at Classic Ford, and like I don't get no new car itch until I go to the car lot. I'm like, man, I'd like to have that. Man, I'd like to have that. So they had some cool cars out there. Those Broncos are really sweet. So hopefully somebody went out there and got them a car last week because they got some good looking vehicles out there. But I got the fever now, Robbie. I got the fever. I have to go get me a car now.
No, Andre must have went by too because he bought a car this week. So.
Did he?
Yeah,
okay.
Really?
I guess.
There you go.
So he had the same fever as well. But good morning, everybody. Again, happy Saturday. Like I said, breakfast brought to us by McDonald's at some point when JP gets here and wakes up and puts gas in his car and whatever he has to do or whatever he does. But we're going to have a good show today. We've got Major League Baseball. We've got NFL. We've got NBA draft. Charlotte Hornets, the number 2 pick in the draft. We've got Legion season is upon us with that coming up and playoffs coming up soon and all that. Let's see. We got golf updates, NASCAR, and more. Good morning, everybody. But first, we got Zach. Cousin Zach's not here today. He's up in the mountains. He might be watching this morning. We'll see if he. We'll check on him in here in just a little bit and see if he is. We'll have to just. We'll just. I'm gonna give Terry his phone number. I know. We'll just call him.
I can't.
Oh, Terry's got his phone number. Never mind. We'll wake him up here, and he's got to be up by now. They're probably eating breakfast. He gets up at the.
I'll get it.
He gets up at the crack of dawn.
He take his kids up there.
He's yeah. That's a little family thing they get into. But Robbie Roop's here today. Welcome, Rob.
I appreciate it. Glad to be with you.
For the folks listening on there that don't know, of course we have our local broadcasters and guys sub in one of ours out. Rob does Cleveland County Sports here, and let's see if I've got his artwork up right. Let's see, because there's Rob, and we got Rob is a Duke fan, a Hornets fan, a Crest man, a Braves man, and a Philadelphia Eagles man, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we got Rob right on the show. So when you hear his garbage opinions, folks, you'll know where they come from because he's from a Duke fan and an Eagles fan, right, Terry?
I ain't got anything to say, Rob.
The Flash is here now. How did the Flash get here late? Someone explain that to me. Huh? How is the Flash late?
He makes more racket with a bag than anything else I've ever heard.
He does. I mean, JP, are you one of those people that eat tater chips really loud?
No, actually,
You barely eat the potato chips. Well, he's here, folks, and so is our breakfast brought to us by your local McDonald's. Stop by breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I ordered me a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Tom, what'd you get?
Looks like I got a sausage and egg McMuffin. Usually I get bacon, but sausage will do just fine.
Terry, what'd you get?
I got a sausage McMuffin with egg.
And Rob?
Classic sausage biscuit.
Sausage biscuit from McDonald's.
Hey, not a problem.
Hey, are you not sure that one's not Tom's? There's not one for Tom because he says he usually gets bacon. Did you check that?
That's what says bacon.
Oh.
Tom can't read.
Oh, sub bacon. Oh, okay, there it is. Sub
Tom
bacon.
can't read.
It says sub bacon.
A teacher.
What's that say?
Teacher of the year.
What's that say? Sausage, egg McMuffin.
Hold on, Terry. Let me get.
I didn't see the sub bacon.
Terry, let me get it. There we go. Teacher of the year, Thompson.
I cannot read. Go ahead, Tom.
Sterling, shut up. Don't make me mad.
He don't have his magnet glasses on right now.
got them right there.
Oh, see, that's why.
And kids ask you why you talk to to me.
I need to put a 2022 on that, don't I? Where's this this teacher of the year?
Yeah, well, the kids that watch the show said, "Who is that goon over there?" That's Terry.
This is who y'all are listening to. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Well, we need a fourth guy. So we need a guy.
Well, we're going to get on biscuits here in a moment, but NASCAR this weekend. Rob, I don't know if you was listening to 92 on your way in, but they had Tony Schiavone on the show before this on the race show before. So I wish Zach would have been here to actually to listen to that. And he was talking about if he kind of had a choice, in broadcasting. He was a football announcer originally, and he said maybe if the rest of the stuff didn't take off or get going, he might have been a footballer. He really likes the racing, but would have been a racing announcer. So could have Tony Schiavone on NASCAR.
That's interesting.
Well, so that was kind of fun what they were talking about. But thanks everybody for listening this morning. 92.9 FM, 1590 AM. We do this every Saturday morning. Talk about the world in sports, and you can watch the show on YouTube. YouTube.com, obviously. KTC Broadcasting is the channel. You can watch the replays on KTC Broadcasting's YouTube channel and Rumble, and then we'll put the links on Facebook and Twitter as well at KTC Broadcasting. So go back if you're riding around. Let's do us today. You can go back and watch us this afternoon because we'll have some fun graphics and fun tweets and other things that we put up on and videos that we put up on the show. So anyway, Terry, in Nashville this weekend, they've already had one race. Carson Hocevar, is that right?
Hocevar,
won a big guitar. It looks
I
like
that kid.
Yeah,
I do. I really like that kid. They gave him the mic a couple of weeks ago, and I forget where they were at. But it was funny. He just took off with the mic and started going around to every driver, about like Michael Waltrip does.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like, this kid can be an announcer. He can be a broadcaster. He can be anything. He just took off with it. And but he won last night. A great young man.
Truck Series, folks.
Yes, in the Truck Series.
If you're listening here on KTC, we do NASCAR racing here on the weekends, of course, on 92.9 FM. This weekend, today we've got Xfinity Series coverage from Nashville at 3 o'clock today. The rest of the broadcast will have the Atlanta Braves this afternoon. That'll be on WOHS only, 101.5 FM. So you folks listen on 92.9, go 101.5 FM WOHS in Cleveland County. Braves at Cincinnati Reds this afternoon at 4 o'clock. No, it's 1:30 broadcast in. I've typed that in wrong, Tom. What is it, Rob? The time. Look that up real quick.
Let me check that out.
I think I typed that in wrong on my schedule. Tomorrow, Braves and Reds, and the NASCAR Cup Series from Nashville. The broadcast starts at 6. Terry, we're doing a late start, 7 p.m. What do you think about that? You have any problem with it? You okay with it?
I mean, it's on a Sunday night. That's a lot of times. A lot of people are not off come Monday. I mean, that's how I look at a lot of things that they do. I mean, I don't know who you're hurting here.
Well, so last year, June was extremely hot these few weeks, and in Atlanta and Nashville, and so the thought is to move them to later in the race, so you don't have so many dehydration and heat problems with the guys. But this is one of the things, like in Charlotte, it rain. And then Daytona, at certain times of the day, it rains sometimes. What are they going to do if they run in the rain? Just go ahead and they've already planned for Monday, I guess.
What about the old guys back in the old days?
What do you mean?
You never had to worry about late evening.
1 o'clock.
I mean, the only time, it was all the time. 1 o'clock.
You got out of church and the race is on.
I mean, it was like that all the time with Richard Petty and David Pearson and Bobby Allison and all of those guys. And I'm wondering, okay, now we're trying to help them. I understand that 100%, but why do we have to change so much?
Well, I just told you what they're doing. They're trying.
I know.
They're worried about the driver's health there, Terry.
Braves and Reds, 4 o'clock today.
4 o'clock. Yeah, that is right on my schedule then. Let me give you the schedule for the weekend here in Nashville. And then we'll have the street race here in a couple weeks, too, Terry. They're getting ready for that.
Yeah, wow.
Aren't you excited?
That's Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you cannot pass. It's a great day.
Terry's
dodge the bullets along the course.
I was about to say that's the fun part of that.
Well,
trying to dodge
now
the bullets.
Tom, that you brought up is a sticky subject that's been all over the internet now, and that's the joke, and everybody's fussing, and then everybody replies, "Well, per capita, St. Louis is more murders than Chicago," but they'll say that per capita argument, right? Well, if I live in Cherryville and there's one murder every 10 years, whatever per capita that, 1 in 50,000. If I live in Chicago and there's 50 people killed today, well, I figure I got a 1 in 50 chance in Chicago, not 1 in 5, whatever the math is to the 8 million people.
I heard on the news. I was listening to the news. Somebody was shot in Dallas and killed, and that's the first time since 2017. It's not been 1 in 6 years.
Wow. In Dallas, Texas?
No, in Dallas, North Carolina.
Oh.
Not been 1 in 6 years.
I say Dallas. There ain't no way in Dallas, Texas.
So I'm just telling you, I don't care what they say. Where I live is much safer.
Today, the Ross Chastain press pass, Terry, 11:45 a.m. You going to catch in on that?
Yeah,
watch
I'll
live.
be
There's the
turning it
link.
on.
I'll send that to you.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate it.
Qualified for the Xfinity Series is at noon on USA for you folks who want to check that out.
As long as he don't win, I'm happy.
Qualifying NASCAR Cup Series 1 o'clock today on USA as well. So if you want to watch qualifying today on USA at noon and 1 o'clock, and then the Xfinity Tennessee Lottery 250 tonight on KTC Broadcasting 92.9 FM. If you're listening to me on the radio, you can listen to this race 3:30 today from Nashville, Tennessee. Tomorrow, let's see, the Grand Marshal starts at 5 o'clock. Blah, blah, blah. Drivers meetings at 6:20. Red carpet walk at 6:30. Driver introductions at 6:35. KDC broadcast coverage starts at 6 o'clock of the race with the pre-race show. 7 p.m. is green flag, scheduled start of the Ally 400. And new, folks, for you NASCAR fans, NBC will be having a post-race show now on the Peacock Network. So now there is a post-race show for NASCAR racing. So instead of just, you see the drivers and whatever, they're going to go and analyze it and have a studio show, kind of like Baseball Tonight, Tom, here on NBC on the Peacock Network. So for you NASCAR fans, one more thing for you to access NASCAR racing. So
hey, Zach picked his winner. Can you tell me who?
That's probably Kyle Busch. It's always Kyle Busch. You and Zach always pick Kyle Busch.
Who you picked, Tom? Who you
talking about? Nashville?
Yeah.
You talking? Okay.
Nashville?
Yeah. Who did you say?
Larson. That's who I
No,
always
he did.
my
He
default
did
pick.
not. You wrong. Kyle Busch. That's right.
Why did he waste our time? He's so you waste our. Last week they had the week off. This week Nashville, Tom, and just we're it's almost biscuit time, folks. Terry's getting a little silly.
Oh,
already.
I'm not. I'm just saying it'll be like 229, Tom, when he wins.
All right, next week, July 2nd is the Chicago Street Race, then the Atlanta Motor Speedway after that. I did see them putting up the Chicago Street Race, the barriers and stuff, so they're getting the streets ready already. They're in Chicago. Tommy, of course, it's not in a bad part of the city.
There's a good part?
Apparently, according to some folks out there.
Everybody I meet that moves down from Chicago just complains about how expensive it is to live there. Like how a 1,200 square foot house, you can come down here and buy like 30 acres of land. So that's all they complain about.
There's some footage of from a Chicago news station of them putting up the barriers and getting the streets ready in Chicago. That's the grandstands that they're talking about there. So this is the iRacing setup that you just saw. What it's supposed to look like, Terry. You excited, Terry?
Yeah.
Pumped up.
I was trying to see that there was a better view. This reporter did a terrible job, so he's fired. There was a better view of them. They've actually got a lot of it. The barriers already up and ready.
It was so nice, Terry, to see a race at North Wilkesboro. Now we got to watch this mess.
I know. I agree.
Why don't we race at Rockingham instead?
Tom, that's the rumor is that was where the NASCAR All-Star race will be next year, in Rockingham.
So it's not.
You weren't here for that, was he, Terry? For us talking about that.
What was I going to say? But it's not in the shape that North Wilkesboro was in. It's still being used. Yeah, okay.
Right. So here's a look at the Chicago street races going through what it's going to look like. This fella, I don't know who this is for NASCAR.com is showing you. There's the grandstands, then turn one. This is all simulated, obviously. And then you got to get by that Jeep Cherokee there. Down by the water. Sharp right turn. Lakeshore Drive. If you've ever been to Chicago, folks, that's where turn 3 will be.
Well, I like the long stretches. I mean, maybe I shouldn't put it down before I see it.
He just said turn 4 is the braking zone there, going back in towards the city.
Look
There's
at that.
another long stretch, Terry.
No lie.
So, I haven't seen the official map of it, but it's supposed to. That's what I've seen. They've already put some of those barriers up right there. You see how they're in the simulation there? They've already blocked off a lot of that near the park and stuff. So that the places where they don't have to stop a lot of traffic, apparently they've already run a lot of that up there and through. So interesting. We'll see how it goes. I just hope one of them don't take out a street lamp. I don't know. I mean, how safe are the barriers or something like this, Terry? That's what, one thing I'm worried about. The temporary things like this, like we always talk about safety.
Well, I give NASCAR a lot of credit. Now, I guarantee that they've tested these or something somehow. They're not going to put these up if it's not going to be safe.
I mean, how much money is involved in just setting this up when you don't have a track? You know, guys. Yeah. I mean, just it's not something
that's a long stretch right here. Boom.
Yeah, well, should be interesting. I can't wait to watch a little bit of it. Like I said, NBC will have the video coverage. We'll always have radio coverage here on 92.9 FM. When we come back, we're going to eat our biscuits, come back, talk NBA, number 2 overall pick, Hornets, Brandon Miller, and what to expect coming up here on KDCBroadcasting.com.
I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join me, along with Captain Ron and the Boss, as we broadcast live during Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday, June 17th at Classic Ford in Shelby. We'll be there with free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Come on in and register to win some great prizes, including a $50 gas card, free rounds of golf, free movie passes, free American Legion Baseball World Series tickets, and much more. Plus, check out the great deals, including 0% financing on new Ford cars and trucks. So make plans right now to be there. Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday, June 17th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Classic Ford of Shelby, located at 1775 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at classicfordofshelby.com and like them on Facebook too. Summertime fun starts with the 1969 Corvette Stingray, now on the line at Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop. With the 350 V8 engine and 4-speed transmission priced at $28,000. Or head on out on vacation in a 2016 Chrysler Town & Country Touring Minivan for only $12,995. And coming soon, a 2010 Honda CR-V EX. That's Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com. Like them on Facebook too. A gas leak can be a killer. Just a small pinhole in a gas line put together with a small spark, and the unthinkable can happen. Now you can get a whole home gas line inspection by calling Today's Pro in Shelby. They'll be more than happy to come out and detect any gas leak that could lead to a disaster for your home. And with summer around the corner, see Today's Pro in Shelby for your pool supplies. And yes, they do pool water tests. And they can fill your propane tanks. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Call 704-600-8393. Online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook too. In an uncertain market, you can choose the stable way to invest your savings. Carolina Federal Credit Union's high-yield certificates of deposit offer competitive fixed rates up to 4.5% APY. They are NCUA insured and have no monthly maintenance fees. Contact them today for more information at 704-435-0186 or check out the rates at carolinafcu.org. APY is the annual percentage yield. Certain minimum balances will apply. Rates are subject to change. It's summer travel time. No matter where you're headed, head first to Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain for a quick auto checkup. They are fully staffed and ready to serve you for all of your automotive needs. And now take $25 off your service bill. And all tires are at cost with an installation package. And they carry all name brands. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service. 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain. Online at butlerstireauto.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. The new small engine repair shop is now open at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. They can fix anything with a small engine, from chainsaws to generators to tractors to zero-turn mowers, from tune-ups to complete repair. All full service includes an oil and filter change, grease, tire and belt check, level the deck and clean it, sharpen your mower blade for $8 off the mower, $15 on the mower. Sharpen your chainsaw for $8 off the saw or $15 on the saw. Sharpen your hedge trimmers for $45 and they offer pickup and delivery. And don't forget, they do small engine rentals too. Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln.
Your mic's not on.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin in the game.
There you go. Good morning, JP.
Good morning.
I hope you didn't leave our mics on there, did you?
No. I turned the mics off.
Tom forgot to turn them off.
Yeah, all right. I'm derelict duty.
We got a firing.
You're fired again.
JP, did you hear us fire you on the radio earlier?
No, I was listening to something else.
Told y'all. You would think if you were late to a radio show, you would turn that on, and because you know that you're probably, receiving some fire across the radio waves.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So that should have probably just hit next time.
Well,
at least you got the biscuits. Mine was good and warm. I almost got them like one bite away before you come back. So I talked too much during the break. I talked one bite too much. So I almost finished mine, and I think the guys have done a good job pounding theirs. Well, let's first talk draft, and then we'll talk trades and other things first. We'll talk Hornets first. No surprise, Wimbiana goes first. They say 7'5", I guess with his hair he is. He told a little girl the other day he's really 7'3". So whatever you want to call it. Seems to be a pretty good ball player. Good skills. But and I've said this before, Terry, you're a little doubtful on him. And it gets me, the disrespect that they say that we've never seen someone like this before when Kevin Durant's 7 foot tall, first of all. And Bo's been doing this for a few years. And Wimbiana, Tom, he's 7'3", same exact height, same exact skills. What I'm saying is Wimbiana, Terry, are they not the same player?
Yeah, basically.
Would you expect Wimbiana to score 20 points a game right now off the bat,
no.
being that skinny?
My deal with him is this, and I know they're giving him all the credit in the world. He can do this.
Al Horford giving up to him?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to have defense against you. I know you play over in France. Okay, well, that defense over there is not what you're going to get in the NBA.
Wrong.
I'm sorry. No, it's not. You can forget that. The United States was built for basketball. That's where it all started. That's where it's at. That's why everybody wants to come to the NBA. If he wasn't, he would have stayed over in France and played over there.
So Bobo's a freak, averaging 6.3 points.
I didn't say he was doing great. I'm saying this guy might only average 6 points a game.
You compared him to Bobo, who scores 6.3 points.
Have you ever seen a bust, Tom, before? Sam Bowie's picked second.
I'm telling y'all, this kid's going to be the real deal. I'm telling you.
For San Antonio,
well,
he probably will.
He's playing power forward, so LeBron's going to be guarding him. So what's he going to do against LeBron and Durant?
Score 20.
That's who's going to be guarding him. You think LeBron's giving up 20 to this kid?
Tell me this. Who in San Antonio can help this guy? He's going to be rookie of the year because there's nobody else down there. That's what I'm saying. I mean, they're going to feed him the ball. He's going to get the ball every time. He's going to be such a sensation for San Antonio because then they're going to say, all right, now let's add pieces to him. You're not going to see that this year. He's going to be freshman of the year because nobody else on that team can score like this guy probably can. It's going to be simple down there.
I think the European players come a little bit more fundamentally sound. I mean, I think he's ready. I think he's going to have a big.
He's already had a stress fracture in his fibula, fractured finger, bone contusion in his shoulders.
Taller guys seem to have those issues.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I smell bust. I'm
Smell
I
bust.
smell bust on this one. I'm
You
not.
call me the negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, and all this stuff. Listen
I
to
don't.
you.
I mean, how many?
This young man would have been better, and I hate to say
Making
this,
fun of me grunting
in
all the
Charlotte than San Antonio.
What's that? Well, Charlotte couldn't give Charlotte wouldn't trade up for him.
Well, we're going to talk about him here with them dodos in a second. I just wanted to go through some of his injuries that they're trying to not talk about. He did have, like I said, he did have a stress fracture in his leg, a psoas injury. So Tommy's hurt his psoas.
Okay,
that's what it says. So there you go.
Sure,
a couple of broken
that
fingers
correctly.
and shoulders and stuff like that too. I haven't seen him play. I haven't seen him fall. I haven't seen him battle with people or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm just being fun with you. He's got to be a bust for the Hornets to be successful here, Tom.
I guess.
Got to pull for the bust.
Well, I mean, the guy
We
the
picked
Hornets
Michael
guy can
Gibbs
score.
Gibson.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what you always say. Get a guy who can score.
So
He
that's
can score.
what I want to know about. Like, what's everybody so upset about? Like, why are Hornets fans mad about this pick?
Because he might be in jail.
Like, if you just besides that, we'll go.
Some people wanted Scoot.
Yeah.
But what would be the argument for wanting Henderson over Brandon Miller? Like I said, I don't watch that much, but when you tell me he's the leading scorer, wasn't he the leading scorer in college basketball too?
He was.
And the National Player of the Year.
Yep.
So
He can play.
He's 6'8", can shoot. So
Here's what you
he's
got.
better than Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, correct?
They take Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
So the Hornets
Okay.
fans complain we didn't take the best player available, Scoot Henderson. Had the Hornets taken Scoot Henderson, the Hornets fans would have complained and said, "Why are we taking the guy that seems to plays the same position as Ball?" So either way, I
Right.
don't think that the front office for the Hornets could have
Right.
won.
If you're
this
committed
pick.
to LaMelo Ball, you don't pick another point guard
No.
because
Well-
he dribbles the ball around until he finds an open three and then fires one up. And
The problem I have is this, and I'm so downhearted on how people look at stuff because Scoot goes to Portland. Well, now they're already saying, well, Scoot and Damian, cannot play up there. That is the dumbest thing any NBA fan could ever say. Scoot's going to be good in his time. He's no Damian Lillard, period. And when they started talking about, well, I don't know whether both of them can play up there on account of what are you talking about? Damian Lillard is the key for Portland. And now they're talking about maybe getting rid of him, Damian Lillard. Okay, that's fine. If I was Damian Lillard, I'd say, okay, just send me away.
that's part of the Stephen A's already said that's part of the if they're picking Scoot, that's part of the plan. Miami is the leading candidate.
Yeah, I know.
They says they believe that they will be getting him. So I don't know who they're sending back. I guess the two white boys, Duncan Robinson and Hero, are going back to play with Scoot. I mean, who else they sending? They got Jimmy Butler ain't going anymore. Bam. Kevin Love's not going anywhere. They're not sending none of them. So I don't know who else they're going to send.
I think
besides
Kevin
Hero and
Love's
Robinson.
contract's up.
He'll probably re-sign.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not re-sign
think
him?
Miami,
A competitive
though.
Miami team.
Yeah, well,
Well,
Miami,
they can't pay
to
him what
me,
they were paying
has
him.
to
He had
have.
an outrageous
They
Tom,
need
I live in Miami.
another guy to go.
What's that?
I
with
live in Miami and I'm a 7-foot rich man.
I get it. I get it. He married with kids.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, a lot of them are, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess that matters more some than others. I guess.
Well, so Terry, let's say Dame is leaving because we've talked before. Point guards don't lead their teams to championships. So, do you want two on your team? Like, so if the Hornets draft him, Rob, is that not drafting a backup? Because is he starting over Rozier, Scoot? Is he? Because that's who you're putting on the bench.
Yeah, so
20 points a game. So, like, what would be the Hornet strategy in drafting? Either that, now I was pulling for this. Let's draft Scoot and move Melo. and you know who I would have called? New Orleans.
Yeah.
I want Zion or Brandon Ingram for Melo right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either one of them, and whatever makes the money work. But I hear that they're both supposedly on the trading block.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go that's why if I was going to go that direction, they could have went there. Jordan, did you see the phone call with Brandon Miller that he had? I'll pull that up here in a second. Jordan did call him to tell him that he was being drafted.
Well, I didn't think they ever had any choice, y'all. I told y'all that weeks ago.
Well, you've been saying that for all the time. You haven't.
He's
you
the
haven't
best
wavered or
player
changed
besides the big guy. I mean, he's the next best guy coming out. And if you didn't get him, and you went to Scoot, I think you would have shot yourself in the foot big time to be a Charlotte, and that's usually what they do. But they did go get the best guy out there.
And I think the Hornets had about as good a draft as they could have had.
Yes.
When you look at the picks they had, you look at that further first round pick.
Who they pick second? I did not see.
Nick Smith Jr., the guy from Arkansas, who had he not hurt his knee, probably would have been a lottery pick this year. But dealt with that knee injury, and then trading up for Njai with the first round pick in the second round. There's a lot of talk of him going in the first round, and the Hornets able to trade up and get him some good picks.
That Jordan still picked him after what he said?
Jordan's heading on out.
It don't matter
You're right to say,
Who's Jordan?
Jordan doesn't even own them.
Yeah, I do know he's still an owner.
Well, he is, but he only owns part of it.
Okay. So they're giving J. Cole credit for being a part owner. Jordan owns more than J. Cole. Okay? He owns more than the rest of them. He's still a minority owner. It's valued at $3 billion. He still owns $1 billion of it.
So you're saying Kupchak doesn't have any voice in it?
No, Kupchak is still the GM.
Yeah.
He's still.
So he's the one making the picks. Why are you saying Jordan makes the picks?
Because Tom, if you would have paid attention, they said Jordan is staying on as running basketball through the draft and free agency with Kupchak to run basketball until the deal is finalized.
All they talk about on the news is Kupchak.
Right, and he needs to be fired. He's collecting paychecks is what he's been doing. I want to get this whole thing, but I can't figure out how to rewind on this stuff. Brandon Miller said that Paul George is the GOAT of basketball. I don't know if y'all saw that one. In his mind.
I mean, come on now. I like him. I mean, I think they got the best guy they could
Kupchak has
get.
no voice in this, why do they pay him? Why is he there?
He's Jordan's friend.
It doesn't make any sense.
Welcome to Jordanville, Tom.
That's
the best way I can
have
explain
a stagnant franchise.
Because on the news, all they talk about is Kupchak and his choice and his interviews and why he chose this person and blah, blah, blah.
You got to make it look like you're in charge.
He's doing something.
Do you think you're in charge?
Well, make him some kind of vice president or something and, just kind of kick him to the curb. I guess so Jordan could say if it doesn't work out, it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my fault.
Tom,
there you go.
When they play the games, right? Usually the executives are there. If he's the one that's in charge of it, he has to be there. That means Jordan in January. Jordan don't like being here in January and December. He likes being in Florida and hanging with his buddies. So he doesn't have to be there if he's not the one in charge. You understand? Here's the interview. Tom, give me 2 seconds. If you would hit the computer button now.
I turn the mics off?
No, you didn't have to do anything but hit the computer button now. Terry.
Okay.
Did you witness all that?
I'm not.
Usually, a lot of times when you hit the computer, you have to turn the mic off.
All right. Here's the Jordan. Mitch Kupchak calls them. Call him Brandon Miller.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Okay. Hornets select Brandon Miller.
What up, dude?
What's going on?
Can you palm a ball yet?
Of course. I was palming the ball like a couple days ago.
Well, welcome, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you play, man.
Thank you.
And I know you've been talking to Miller already, haven't you?
Yeah, he was texting me right when I was sitting at the table.
All right, man. Well, look, you know what? You know what happens now, right? You got to get to work, dude.
Straight to work.
All right, man. I'm very proud, very happy to have you, man.
Thank you.
All right, my brother.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Jordan. That's Mitch Kupchak was the first voice you heard. That was him calling in the pick in the draft that they were picking Miller. Give me 1 second.
Can you
Tom.
imagine working for Michael Jordan?
Go ahead, Tom. Yep, sorry. That was my fault, not Tom's fault.
Oh, my God. He took blame for something.
I do sometimes.
He took responsibility.
What now? Go ahead, Terry, about working with
I
Michael.
mean, can you imagine doing that? I mean, it wasn't like, congratulations, young man. Welcome to the Charlotte Hornets. Blah, 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 blah. Try to build the kid up, man, you ready to get to work?
Can you palm a ball?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
All right, so you know what the palm a ball thing's about?
No.
Kwame Brown cannot palm a ball, and that's what people have hated Jordan for years about it. Is that Kwame couldn't palm a ball when he was 18? He can now, but it was one of the biggest. That was an inside joke among the basketball folks of the palming the ball thing. So Brandon Miller's the pick. Terry, you like it? No problems with it? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't want. If my choice was between him and the point guard, I would definitely said I want him if you're keeping Melo and you got Terry Rozier out there. You don't need another little guy running around. Not to hate on Scoot, but like he seems a little bit about he likes the lights, the limelight.
He is a bright lights guy.
I'm not sure how serious he is about winning basketball.
I want to ask y'all something though. Why do we take these kids? And I'm like Tom is sometimes. You know, you haven't played in the NFL. Okay, you've never played in the NBA, and we build them up so big. What if they bust, y'all?
That's what I'm saying.
It's part of the hype.
Most of them are going to. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
with you. I mean, that's the truth, what you just got through saying. Most of these guys who were just drafted are going to become, you'll never hear of them again. Or they're going to go back, well, you know, way back when he was in college, you know, I mean, who cares about college now? You're in the NBA and you're average or you're sitting on a bench.
They'll be at the end of somebody's bench.
All right, last year's draft. Number 1, Benchero. He averaged 20 points in 6 and 3. Chet Holmgren didn't play. Excuse me. Let me move this over and I'll let y'all see as well. Jabari Smith, 12 points. Keegan Murray, Sacramento, 12 points. Jaden Ivey, Tom, who's he play for without looking? Anybody else want to guess? Anybody know who Jaden Ivey is? Jaden Ivey was picked 5th overall last year, averages 16 points a game for the Detroit Pistons. Anybody know who Benedict Mathurin is? Plays for the Pacers, averaged 16 points a game last year.
Yeah, I mean, does any of these guys just stand out to you?
Shaden Sharp, 9 points a game. Dyson Daniels picked 8th by the Pelicans last year. He averaged 3.
There you go, 8th.
Jeremy Sokin, the guy in the purple hair all over TV last night, acting like he was a star. He had a grand total of 11 points a game last year. So there's your other spur there, Tom. Jeremy Sokin. Down on Jalen Williams at OKC, scored 14 a game. Malachi Branham of Ohio State. Tom, you ever heard of him?
When he was at Ohio State. Yeah.
Just checking. But
it's hard to keep up with them because they're only there a year.
And you're right. Most of these people are a year, and then you got some foreign players and whatnot. But like you said, Terry, like we're like you're making stars out of these guys, and
there's your Wake Forest guy down at number 19.
It's happening. The thing with basketball that I think is so different from the other sports, though, the hype machine starts for these kids at 14 to 15 years old. And you don't see that as much with Major League Baseball and the NFL. Yeah, you hear about some great players that are coming up, but that hype machine for basketball, once it starts rolling, it's hard to stop it. And by the time they play a year in college or a year in the G League, I mean, it's out of control.
I honestly think because basketball, you know, they say any given Sunday a football team win. No, they can't. Some teams are overmatched. Alabama's overmatched in Western Carolina. Basketball courts, guys, I mean, I've been on, Terry, you've probably played in games.
Yeah.
Plenty of games, you walk out in the court, you ain't supposed to win this game, and we win. Only team that beat the Appalachian basketball team in the summer league. We're just playing. Beat them in a pickup game, like 21-17, close game, but we got hot. Yeah, I mean, none of us belong on a court with any of those dudes, but in a pickup game, you never know. It's the Carolina guys play. I showed y'all the video of that at Granville. They pick up games with kids all the time. They mix and match. There with the kids at Granville Towers, the Tar Heels, and I'm sure some of them win, some of them lose, depending on how the games go. But I think where they get with that, guys, is like you'll see LeBron or somebody like 15, like you could put him on a court of college guys right now, and he wouldn't be a problem. And I think that's where they get with the hype train on that. Rob, you see, if I can dribble and shoot from 30 feet at this age, like Trae Young, like who looks at him still say he's probably an NBA player. He's still so tiny. I don't know if I'd draft him too high, but you know, he scores 25 points a game now. So I think a lot of that basketball stuff is that you can be on a court. Too. You can be on a court skill wise with other people that are way better than you, and your team beat them. It's not because of the team game thing. So the hype thing is weird. The Adidas, Nike, I think a lot of that's got to do with it. So you're right. Baseball's hard to do that way. There's nothing. I mean, it's so spread out. Because the draft, you know, even if they do the draft, you don't. How long does it take them to get to the
2 or 3 years
to the major leagues? Like, hey, we'll see this guy in 3 years from now.
Every once in a while, you have wasn't Doc Good, 19 years old.
Yeah,
John Allred didn't go to the minor leagues.
But I will say, baseball. You look at baseball now; it is getting. And Brian Snider called about that. It's getting quicker. You look at the Braves, their guys come up 20 years old. De La Cruz yesterday for the Reds, he's 19, 20 years old. You're starting to see guys progress faster now than they have ever before.
He was 3 for 3 when I turned it off yesterday.
He hit for the cycle yesterday.
So let's go.
Did he hit the cycle? Did he? Because
he had that by the 6th inning.
Because I remember he had the double. He got the single on a broken bat, and it was like, because I heard him say single, double, and a home run. I was like, well, I wonder if he'll hit a triple.
Yeah, he got the cycle.
He did.
Wow, he got the cycle.
Here's Miller's scouting report. Trying to squeeze that on the screen for you guys. I might have to go to the other one there. MVP of the SEC tournament. Said he had a growing injury in the NCAA tournament, slowed him down. Inability to create separation against San Diego's defense threw up many red flags. Terry, does that give you a red flag?
Not really. No.
Most guys that score keep scoring, don't they?
And you got to understand, separation in the NBA is not going to be much anyway. I mean, think of Bird. Bird was always in people's face, but it didn't matter because he says all I need is an inch.
Well, yeah, him and Dirk shot behind their heads.
Yeah.
You had to almost foul him to block the shot. Didn't have a great weekend by his stand. This is the scouting stuff. Post-draft analysis. Let's see what this says about us. The Hornets sit at a crossroads after drawing lottery luck at number 2. Yeah, good luck. Ain't that awesome? They say it's good luck. Good job, guys. Great luck. You got the guy behind the franchise-changing player.
Always happens that way.
What are they talking about? The roster require further work with the Hornets to re-enter the playoff pictures. Their last few drafts have been poor, but this pick presents a major opportunity to inject some energy and star power in the organization. His upside as a tall perimeter creator with two-way impact ultimately moved him to number 2 on the board for many teams over the course of the impressive college season. After taking the time to do due diligence on Miller and Scoot Henderson, bringing both players in for 2 rounds of workouts, they landed here to pair Miller with Ball.
Can I say something right here?
You say whatever you want.
Yeah. The problem I have with this, and think of it on my end, you got the big guy going to San Antonio. There's nobody else down there. He's going to lead them in scoring. He's going to be freshman of the year, et cetera, et cetera.
Rookie of the year, too.
Yeah, rookie of the year. Freshman. Yeah, I mean, to me, he's some freshman. But anyway, the second guy, he's going to Charlotte. But he has a couple pieces around him that might help him, that his scoring average is going to be lower.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt. But now here goes Scoot Henderson.
For shots.
I know, but now here we go to Scoot Henderson,
Miller's fighting for shots.
who's going to Portland. If they get rid of Damian Lillard, guess what? His stock's going to be way up because he's going to be the only guy shooting shots.
Yeah, but didn't they? Here's what's the thing.
But
about
now
him.
that's
Didn't they
what
say
I'm
he
saying.
don't shoot well? Like, why is he rated so high if he's not a really good shooter? They said he could learn to shoot well.
Yeah, but he's a great
What was the
penetrator.
scouting
He
report?
can play. But I
I
mean, my
get
whole
that, but
deal.
number 2, though, Terry.
Yeah,
number
but
2 is that?
I mean, my whole deal is this:
that's like picking.
first and third are probably going to look better than what Charlotte has next year, but it's going to be your surrounding party.
Right.
Here's a question, and as you look at this now, who played against the better talent? Is it Miller, who played a year of college basketball? Is it the Winnebago, who played over in France? Or is it Scoot Henderson, played in the G League? So
you say Winnebago.
Yeah.
That's his nickname.
Yeah.
Winnebago? I didn't know that was his nickname.
So I think that's going to expose
gotta say
something
it
too.
French.
Is who played the better talent.
Yeah,
for a
I
year.
agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know over in France, how would y'all rate that?
What?
I mean, playing in a G League?
Oh.
Would that be better players than playing in the SEC?
I bet.
Or
it's,
better than
it's
playing
probably,
over in France?
Terry, I would say this. It's probably way better to play in the G League style-wise because it's probably way closer to what the NBA does. Style-wise. As far as competition-wise, the Euro League's probably tougher, elbows and all that stuff. College, college, those coaches like to do pressure, run the play, run the play. So people like Michael Jordan average 17 points a game. So I think it depends on the player, honestly.
Yeah.
With him, with all the gold and stuff in his mouth, G League is just fine.
Yeah, but it's just me. I just look at next year.
He did a good job. I'm not sure he passed the entrance exams to Michigan like Caleb Love wouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at next year saying Brandon will not be your elite player. on account of the surrounding people around him.
Yeah.
The other two will probably average
I
more
understand what you're
and do everything, especially if Portland gets rid of Damian. So,
the number 2 pick, Arkansas for Charlotte, 6'5" point guard. You guys know anything about Nick Smith? They don't even have his pro. It's an NBA draft first round pick, Tom. They don't even have a picture of him. This is the Hornets drafted. They don't even have a picture of this guy over here in the gray, Terry. Good job, Hornets. I don't know anything about him. Terrible pick. If the NBA does not have a picture of you and you're a first round pick, come on. I'm just going to randomly click on a guy. How about the guy from Iowa? They got a picture of Chris Murray. Another guy from Marquette. Oliver Maxence Prosper got a picture of that guy. Hornets. You took a guy that we don't even have a picture of. NBA doesn't own a picture of this guy, Tom. This is who we drafted. Is that a real person?
I was going to go back. It was an interesting story on those twins that got drafted.
Yeah, I did. Do y'all know anything about them?
They're from California, and their daddy used to take them like climbing mountains, wearing 40-pound, all this crazy traded stuff he talks about.
He's a Williams sister.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was basically a daddy. Basically, their whole life was you're going to play basketball. And I think this is the first time in two twins win as lottery. They didn't go as lottery picks.
Two brothers win as lottery picks. They're twins, so even more fun.
Yeah, I'm not. It's either the first time or first time in a long time. I don't know if it's ever happened before, but yeah, they went back to back. One went to the Rockets and one went to the Pistons. I think.
Yeah. There's Wembanyama and Kyler Murray.
There you go.
Matched up on it with you. There's another one with the Panthers' new pick, Young, there too. Rob, I didn't like that one. I looked for it again this morning, couldn't find it. But there's one with Kyler and Young standing. Just picture Young between those two, right there in the same height, and he's standing there too. So there's a Bryce Young one with Wembanyama. Oh, there's a bunch of funny Wembanyama ones on here of people making fun of how tall he is. So let's see if I can find any more basketball. This real quick. This is Draymond Green and Chris Paul arguing about who to hit in the manhood on the next play. Inside huddle video, Terry. First play.
Yeah, great.
I would turn that. We might get spiked on that one. Let's see. All right, this one is pretty cool. Kentucky commit. A high school kid, is how much money he's getting in name, image, and likeness, guys.
$1 million.
Donates $75,000 to his athletic department.
Wow. Jeez.
A high school kid, a commit to Kentucky, not a player. No, he never played a game at Kentucky. Has been given so much name, image, and likeness. He has donated $75,000 to his high school athletic department. DJ Wagner. It's Camden Athletic Department, so Camden High School.
Probably that's Philadelphia area. It's right across the river.
Not sure. You might.
Camden, New Jersey. It's right across the river.
All right, this is the top 10 craziest fan bases according to this website, and I don't know what that means by crazy. But Terry, y'all made a top 10. NC State comes in at number 7.
That is strange.
I don't even know what that means.
Say top 10 of what?
Craziest fan bases.
Crazy as delusional or crazy as just rabbit.
I don't know. I clicked on it and I looked for a
explanation.
There was none. So I just saw NC State in top 10. I'm just going to bring this one in for no reason because State made the top 10 of craziest fan base, and I just figured, Terry, guys, do y'all agree?
I have no clue. I mean, I have no clue.
We listen to you every
what
Saturday.
That means.
Yes, you're a crazy State fan.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that means. I got a bunch of baseball stuff.
At least we wasn't number 1. I mean, I hate to say that.
It is funny. Did you see the jet dryer from Pocono is over helping on the I-95 collapse, Tom? They had to hire NASCAR
really
to bring in the jet dryers because of all the rain to keep the area dry enough to get the work done. So NASCAR is helping the wreckage there.
What are the chances of a gasoline tanker catching fire right up underneath the bridge? What are the chances? That's just nuts.
Terry, I know we've already did a NASCAR, but run through these real quick for the folks.
That's still a big question in that bridge.
Terry, if you had to guess, who has the most wrecks in NASCAR in the last 5 years?
Kyle Busch.
Looks to me, Sorensen. I don't know.
Come on, we make fun of him every week. Ricky Stenhouse,
Yeah.
33 wrecks and since 2017. If there's a wreck, Stenhouse is usually involved in that one, Tom. But there's the list. Austin Dillon, second. Eric Jones, 27 piece. William Byron, 26. Kyle Larson, 25 wrecks. Keselowski, Suarez, Kurt Busch. Bubba Wallace and Busch are tied at ninth with 22 wrecks in the last 5 years. Got a couple more NASCAR ones. Top 15 finishes in 2023. How about Stenhouse's second?
No record win.
Stenhouse is second in top 10 finishes. 15 finishes this year. Kevin Harvick's first with 12. Stenhouse, Busch, or Bowman, Busch, Truex, William Byron, and Bell all tied with 11. So I had to back up and get some of that because I did skip over those earlier. Real quick. All right, back to JP. We need to take a quick break, and then we come back. We'll break down the trades and more. This week. I want to say happy birthday to the Shelby legend Bobby Bell. 83rd this week. This is him taking back an onside kick, Tom, for a touchdown. Tom, if you would hit the button. Let's see if I get some audio.
Quarterback's condition. And for
and what's great about this video is got the old-timey NFL music.
Yes, Kansas City's Municipal Stadium knew an onside kick was coming. But only Bobby Bell, number 78, knew what to do with it.
Look at that goal line. Well, it wasn't a goal line.
He was Cleveland.
What was their mascot?
The 31-17 victory kept Kansas City close at Oakland's heels.
So wishing him happy birthday this week. All right, we come back. We'll finish up all the trades and get you guys updated on everything that happened this week and who's where. Chris Paul and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
The more. Owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10 Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. Save your dates and bring your bestie to Scooter's Coffee in Cherryville. 4 big days, June 20th, June 27th, July 4th, and July the 11th. On those 4 days, when you pay with the Scooter's Coffee app, you can buy one drink and get one free. Again, use your Scooter's Coffee app to order and buy one and get one free June 20th, June 27th, July 4th, and July the 11th. Be sure to tell your friends. That's Scooter's Coffee, 2507 Lincoln and Highway, 150 East in Cherryville at Walmart. Open 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week.
Join us for our live Sunday morning worship services on WHS. It's the Sunday morning worship service from Calvary Baptist Church in Shelby, and on WCSL, it's the Sunday morning worship service from First Baptist Church in Cherryville. With CF Moto, you have the power to conquer more. From rocky creek beds to colossal mud pits to wooded mountainsides, CF Moto high-performance vehicles rip through the toughest terrain with ease. Outfitted with custom-designed liquid-cooled 4-stroke engines and an unmatched assortment of standard features, the CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides do more than crush trailheads. Whether you're looking for the ultimate adrenaline rush or a heavy-duty machine, you can take on anything with CF Moto. Available at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Laurel.
Yes, they've been hard to get, but they've got them now at the Great Outdoors in Cherryville. 20 and 410 gauge shotgun shells, they're now in stock. Come get yours today before they're gone. Also just arrived, Berkeley Colshad swim bait and the new stock of APCO ankle deep boots starting at $99. And the Frog Togs too. Hurry it now to the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Triad Corrugated Metal in Lincoln is this area's headquarters for premium metal roofing and supplies. And now just arrived, square tubing for metal carports and metal buildings. Give them a call at 980-429-2278 for pricing and sizes. And they have a wide variety of colors. Visit the website at triadcorrugatedmetal.com. And like them on Facebook too, Triad Corrugated Metal, 108 Industrial Park Road in Lincoln.
And we're back on Saturday More Sports Talk with Kevin the Gang. I think they're done with NASCAR, but I'm not 100% sure.
Sorry, derelict of duty.
We're still on NBA. We just talked draft a minute ago, but just kind of
Okay, so I was wrong. I said NASCAR. So
every now and then, JP, you get one wrong. We were talking Hornets draft, and big news this week is the Bulls don't expect Lonzo Ball to play this year, and some are reporting that he may never play again. He's basically got the Brandon Roy injury where he doesn't have the cartilage in his knee, and and then that brought up, a lot of people wanted the Hornets pick Scoot Henderson, and then Rob, we're looking at the Hornets draft to pick 2 point guards. Are they worried about possibly LaMelo's feet and ankles? He's had these ankle problems the first couple of years. Is that something I guess they're looking at with all these point guards are drafted?
I think it's something you got to be careful of. I mean, he's already shown the injury possibility with him. Now he sees what happened with his brother dealing with his legs. I think it's something they got to think about.
Do you know any of these guys? Amari Bailey from UCLA or Nick Smith? Nick Smith didn't have the picture we was laughing at a minute ago. At least Bailey's got a picture. They've seen him before. They've at least seen this draft pick before.
Maybe Nick Smith's a quick. They tried to get a picture. It's kind of like Bigfoot. It just wasn't possible.
They drafted a 6'10" Nigerian. I don't know who he playing for Barcelona in the Spanish league last year. 7'4" wingspan, 6'11", 32 and 8 in some championship game or whatever. So seems maybe they got a big man inside to get some go get LaMelo's rebounds. Maybe for him. I don't know. All right, so we had a bunch of trades and stuff this week as well. We'll go through. Bradley Beal is now in Phoenix. Let's find my transactions. You've got Terry's Celtics making all kinds of moves. They traded Marcus Smart to Memphis in exchange for draft considerations. Acquired Kristaps Porzingis from Washington in exchange for Mike Muscala and Danilo Gallinari. So now you have Kristaps Porzingis, a bunch of draft picks. It looks like maybe Terry, and no Marcus Smart. How are you feeling about the moves so far and what you're doing?
Well, I just think it hurts us. I mean, if we're going to be a defensive team, and I think that's what you got to have when you get into the playoffs, and then you give up the defensive player of the year that you had to go get Porzingis. Don't get me wrong. I know the guy can play, but he's not a defensive guy. He's not that spark plug that you got to have out on the court. And I don't care what people say. You've got to have a guy like that. Are we going to be big? Yeah, we can match up with anybody now underneath. I mean, we can throw 3 guys out there, Williams, Horford, and Porzingis, and then go with Tatum and Brown. That's a very big lineup. I mean, first of all, I thought we was getting rid of Brogdon. That's who I thought we was going to get rid of. And I was giving or taking with that because Brogdon, steady player, can play, but he ended up staying, and we ended up getting rid of Smart. I just think it's a bad move on Boston, and I think now...
Is Derek White a starting point guard?
He can play, yeah.
Well, he's going to have to.
Yeah,
you ain't got no one else on the roster. I'm just looking at like, who's bringing the ball up?
I don't know. I just think now that we failed probably to the number 3 spot in the East. I think Philadelphia, it depends on what Harden does, they'll move ahead of us, and Bucks also. I don't think we drop below number 3. I think we're good enough to be there.
And the funny thing is the Miami Heat are like, we don't care.
No, I know. But
That's what's crazy.
Yeah. I still think Miami needs somebody to help Bam in the middle. I mean, Damian Lillard going there would help them, I think, but it's not, to me, a NBA champion, team. They can get there, but can you win it?
You talk about the Celtics?
No, Miami.
Oh, okay. Well, probably not. You need to.
Is Denver losing any of their pieces?
The guard may be going Brown. He's leaving. I
want to tell you something else.
Well, real quick, Miami has their tallest player was 6'9".
Yep.
Yeah.
And Denver had 6'10", 6'10", 7 foot, 250, whatever he is. Like they had no chance size wise in that. So they need a big man to at least do something down there.
And I'm gonna mention something else to you, and I think this was a bad move to me for the Suns.
I do too.
I mean, I'm sorry, you giving up a point guard, and we go. Well, I'm sorry. You got to have a guy.
Ball's awful.
I don't care whether he's awful or not. He's your point guard. He does not worry about scoring. He will shoot. He can score, but he's worrying about putting everybody else in your rotation and playing the game. And now all of a sudden you pick up Bradley Beal. What's Bradley Beal going to do for you?
Here's my thing.
Bradley Beal played as many playoff games this year as Chris Paul did.
Well, here's my thing with him. Bill's shown he's got a little bit of injury concern.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant the same way. Right now for Phoenix, it's all or nothing. And just with those, just their starting five, they are so far above the salary cap. It's ridiculous. Yeah. That's what they're saying now. How are they going to fill out the rest of the team? So I mean, I don't know. They're playing with fire with that move because if they're going to have some really low tier guys step up if they're going to do anything.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to end up, to me, being a Lakers team or a Dallas Mavericks team who have stars, but you're not going to make it because half the year them guys are going to be sitting over on your bench.
They're going to have to manage. They're going to have to manage minutes. They are.
I mean, that's just me. I think Phoenix will make your playoff because everybody in the NBA almost does. They're good enough to do that. But what are they going to be? To me, I think Phoenix can be, and here we go, and I'm going to tell you right now, with Durant and all them out there, I think Phoenix will still be a 5 or 6 team in the West.
Yeah.
They're not done making moves. DeAndre Ayton's going to be gone. They just got to figure out what is good. What's the value for him? And honestly, I'd call up Minnesota and see if because they're not happy with Gobert, the players aren't happy with him. And what do you think about a 1-for-1 for there, Terry? Gobert and Ayton. That make both teams happy?
Yeah, could be.
I mean, Phoenix don't need anybody that can score. And Ayton wants the ball and he pounces when he don't get it.
Yeah,
and he sure don't play any defense.
If they're playing.
He sure don't play any defense. So Phoenix needs, everybody else in their team needs to be able to guard somebody, take fouls, and shoot threes.
I mean, Chris Paul to me is on a team that's the ultimate. My God, you got shooters everywhere. He don't have to do anything but dish. I mean, if you do not come to him,
they've only got one shooter now.
Well, Chris Paul can still score.
They got one shooter now, maybe two if he gets on the court.
Who? What are you saying? Thompson can score
if he's there. We talk about these people being there. I ain't seen Thompson in 3 years.
You still got Wiseman. I mean,
he
you
ain't
still
on the
have
team
people.
no more. Wiseman got traded.
Oh. Did he really? Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just had a tall moment there.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Here's their roster.
I did not know
it's
he
just
got
Steph
traded.
Curry. Wiggins is a free agent. Draymond's a free agent. And it's Chris Paul. That's it. It's Chris Paul, Curry, and Thompson right now.
Well,
That's it.
Wiggins will help. So.
Tom, we go to 3-on-3 tournament, and you got Chris Paul, Curry, and Thompson, and I got Bill, Booker, and Durant.
You're not going to beat down.
Waxing.
No, you're not. No, you're
waxing
not. No, you're
the
not.
Golden State Warriors. Nobody's beating Denver right now, but the Phoenix Suns will wax the Golden State Warriors.
No, you're not.
Terry.
That's not going to happen.
Terry.
Wait and see. I'm telling you right here. Wait and see.
If they get Wiggins, they got a prayer, but if they don't.
If you don't come up with some point guard down at Phoenix, you're going to win nothing.
Okay. The Phoenix can watch Curry and Paul dribble around for 10 minutes and play point guard while we dunk it and scoot a three every time. Terry, Curry, Thompson, and Chris Paul are not better
Kevin.
than. They just traded Chris Paul from
Kevin.
Phoenix.
I understand basketball.
I do.
That's not how it works.
This is Chris Paul is playing backup.
Well, he probably should, but I guarantee he'll be a starter.
What?
Wait and see. He'll be a starter.
Go ahead.
I mean,
if you run Chris Paul, Steph Curry, old Thompson out there, whoever's playing them is getting 130 a game. They have no defense, no center.
They got Draymond. What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah, he'll be back.
They don't even have him. Maybe.
No, he'll be back now that
if you're
Poole's
Draymond,
gone.
If you're Draymond, would you rather play with those losers or go to play with
the Lakers? Nah, wrong.
He loves LeBron.
He's not going over there.
He loves LeBron.
Wait and see.
Loves him.
They just filled his spot. Getting rid of Poole filled Draymond's
So Draymond
spot.
Opted out of $27 million. How much is he getting?
$27 million for Draymond sounds like $26 million too many.
That's what
I mean,
all you got to do, Tom, is pull up the guys who are making a lot of money, and you will find people who are worse than Draymond at everything that he does making more money than
I'm
him.
not going to deny that many people are overpaid. We're focusing. We're not doing whataboutism here, Terry. We're talking about Draymond.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
$27 million is
ask
egregious.
Curry, ask Curry what he thinks about it. He'll tell you real quick.
Yeah, because he don't want to get punched in the face.
We need Draymond. Yeah, he'll tell you that.
You need Draymond like you need a hole in the head, Terry. You don't need Draymond. Get rid of him. Get somebody who can score.
Well, you'll watch and see. I'm just like I just got through telling you, Boston will fall because we got rid of Smart. And I'm a Boston man.
Smart was pretty good, I will say.
Well, that's Draymond with Golden State. You got to have him.
No.
You got to have a player
You're going
like
to tell
that.
me, he's going to tell me that Smart.
Detroit would have never been the same team if they didn't have Bill Laimbeer. He took up all the crap that somebody else did not want to do.
Laimbeer was better than Draymond, so
Lordy,
it's not even close.
No,
between
you've
got
to have a guy like that.
I know,
You've
but
got to have a guy.
Laimbeer pitched in and scored.
That's just like Denver.
He helped out the team.
If you want to go to Denver, they
Laimbeer
had
13 and 10.
To me, Denver had two guys, Gordon and Porter,
Laimbeer
who
scored.
did not care.
Laimbeer scored 13-13, 17-17, 16-15, 13-13, 12. In Draymond's dreams, is he as good as Bill Laimbeer?
Back when people could actually play defense, he got those numbers.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, back when
He averaged, here's his rebounds, 11, 12, 12, 12, 13, 11, 11, 10, 9, 9, 9, 9. Draymond's never averaged 10 rebounds in his career in the single season.
But he's the best defensive player.
I'm not saying
time.
he's not a good defensive player, but he's not in Bill Laimbeer's category.
Robbie, did you see where Shannon Sharp broke it down where Draymond said he's the best defensive player in all time? And Shannon Sharp went through like 30 people that were better than Draymond. It was so funny. It was great. We pull that up.
I'm just looking at these.
We're talking about Shannon Sharp, who knows nothing about basketball.
He knows nothing about basketball.
I'm looking at the salaries right now.
You don't have to know a whole lot to know that Draymond Green's a fraud. You don't have to know a whole lot about basketball.
Hey, Spurs and Hornets play the first game of the summer league. If anybody's there want to see if Brandon Miller can outscore Wemby there. Trying to find out look at some of these other teams. So CP3 is in Golden State. Wiggins and Draymond are free agents. I as of right now, wouldn't pick anybody over Denver. So I mean, I don't know what else to say about that.
Yeah, if they keep it intact, there's your question.
I think Jokic
Murray being healthy is the.
I think Jokic might retire early. He doesn't seem tremendously interested in playing.
Yeah,
40.
he just kind of goes about it.
How old is he now? That's all. I mean, I could see him playing 3 or 4 more years and just saying, I'm done. I'm going back home.
I'm going to head to the house.
All right.
I don't know. Cleveland made any moves the past few days? Y'all do anything, Tom?
Like I said, they signed the guy, Imani Bates, who was a phenom in his youth. Sports Illustrated cover, like you were talking about.
Yeah, there's another one.
And they were talking about this guy going to be a lottery pick, blah, 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 blah. Goes to Memphis. Gets in a little bit of trouble. Borrowed a car with a gun in it. That sounds like sounds like something I would say when I was 18. I didn't know there was a gun in the car. I just borrowed it. And he has a reputation of being, shall we say, not stable. If things aren't going his way, the body language and everything else is reflected in that. And it's kind of hard to build a team with guys like that, So there's a lot of asterisks by a guy who's a lot of talent. Now, he did have some really big games. Ends up at Eastern Michigan, which he's from Michigan. So he goes back home to play, and he had some, he has some games where he puts up a ton of points, but then he also has some, shall we say, emotional meltdowns is the knock on him. So he's on probation. He pled guilty. I think he pled down. He's at 18 months probation for the weapons charge. Sometimes a young man will do something wrong early in his life, learn from it, and become a better person.
Right.
Or they keep doing the same thing. So I'm hoping that, I wish I was a perfect person when I was young. I was not. And, you learn from your mistakes. Hopefully he'll learn from his mistakes, and we'll see. I mean, he could score. That's what Kevin's always saying. Draft a wing who could score. So this is what this guy is.
Gotta be able
he's a wing who could score.
And he played for who?
He played for Memphis and then Eastern Michigan.
Eastern Michigan, okay.
Terry, you don't know anything about him. You haven't read a word about him. Why are you even saying anything? Just sit over there and be quiet.
I'm not.
Just
who did you finish with? Eastern Michigan, okay. That's all I got to know.
He's just disrespectful.
That's all I got to know.
For absolutely no reason. All right, this is Stephen A. talking about Chris Paul. I have not listened to this, so this is just his Stephen A. questions the fit for the Warriors. Tom, you don't have to. You do have to take a computer for me.
A computer?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Out of $400 million in salary, obviously this is a business move. It wasn't just a business move, but when you think about the numbers that they've got to deal with and the fact that next year they'll be in a position to get as much as $25 million under the tax, you're looking at it from a business perspective and understanding this was primarily a business move. Obviously, $30.8 million next year. His salary is not guaranteed. You can do what you want with him. It's a very, very attractive commodity to have in terms of moving a contract down the line before the trading deadline, or dare I say even next summer. So all of those things play the role, not to mention the fact in their mind, Chris Paul is going to be somebody that stabilizes their second unit from the standpoint of being on the court with the Kumingas of the world and others, cutting down on some turnovers, obviously, which has plagued Golden State. I get all of that. I just agree with Tim Legler. I don't see how this makes it better, and I don't see how it's an ideal fit. If I remember correctly, I think the Warriors were number 1 in pace of play this year. The Phoenix Suns was like at 22nd, if I remember correctly. I got to look that up.
Third.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, I'm looking at them. I'm like, really? That's what you're doing? This doesn't seem to make much sense. Not to mention the fact that we know that Chris Paul has been perpetually injured. He's missed about 12 postseason games. In 5 playoff series that he's got injured, it's impacted his team because they've lost 4 of the 5 series, that playoff series that he's got injured in. And now you're talking about transferring from a team, from a style of play where it's the bottom third to going up to a team number 1 in pace of play. We know primarily most of those injuries were hamstring injuries. I don't even know if he'll last. I'm just looking at the Golden State Warriors and I'm saying to myself, really? Now, I'm not going to get into the Jordan Poole things too much. I know that Chris Paul is 14 years older than Jordan Poole. I know that Jordan Poole definitely wanted his shining in Washington. He's going to get that because he'll be the primary offensive option, one would argue. But I just looked at this and I just said, really, that's the move that you make? I thought they needed some more size. I didn't think that this was what they needed. I don't think it's an ideal fit. I don't think that it's going to make them better or more of a championship contender. Certainly it's not going to make them worse because Chris Paul doesn't make teams worse. Anywhere he goes, the team is always better. We know that, okay? I just don't see that happening in this particular situation. Not because I don't believe in his talents. It's just that in this situation, I don't think it's a good one. But I understand they were willing to sit up there and trade for him.
I just don't like the matchup at all, Terry. But what's bad about it is I really like Steph Curry. I've always liked Steph Curry. Now he's got 2 losers on his team that I can't pull for him. Just can't pull for those 2 guys.
Everybody has their opinion.
Hits people in their wee-wee.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to pull for. I mean, I don't know how anybody can be a Draymond Green fan. I mean, that's just kind of shocking.
All right. When we come back, we got NFL. Major League, we got a bunch of baseball to talk about. Got some fun stats. Oh, I got a bunch of fun stats in that. But we got that and more. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Live during Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday, June 17th at Classic Ford in Shelby. We'll be there with free Dairy Queen hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Come on in and register to win some great prizes, including a $50 gas card, free rounds of golf, free movie passes, free American Legion Baseball World Series tickets, and much more. Plus, check out the great deals, including 0% financing on new Ford cars and trucks. So make plans right now to be there. Customer Appreciation Day this Saturday, June 17th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at Classic Ford of Shelby, located at 1775 East Dixon Boulevard. Online at classicfordofshelby.com and like them on Facebook too. Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10 Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. For the folks in Cherryville and Shelby, I'm sure you remember when the Western Steer was in your town, and we wish they were still here. But I've got good news. There's a Western Steer just a few minutes up the road in Newton. From Cherryville, hop on Highway 321 Business. And from Shelby, go Highway 18 to 10 to Newton. You get real comfort food, home-cooked style with down-home hospitality. Try their big unbeatable buffet or order from their menu. And they've got a party room for big groups. The Western Steer in Newton, 334 Southwest Boulevard in Newton at the Highway 10 and 321 Business intersection. Open Wednesday through Sunday. At SNR Auto Sales in Shelby, they don't just sell cars and trucks, they buy cars and trucks too. Hey, they will buy your car or truck today. Just go by and let them give you an offer. Hey, it's convertible weather. See what SNR Auto Sales in Shelby has on the lot. Let your hair down and ride around town in a new convertible from SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. That's SNR Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby. Online at srautosales.com and like them on Facebook too.
This is the month to get your new Ford F-150 truck. Yep, the one you've been dreaming of from Classic Ford in Shelby. This month, buy your new 2023 Ford F-150 truck and get 3.9% APR financing plus $1,000 bonus cash. And get the same deal, 3.9% financing on new Ford 2023 Ford Explorers plus $1,000 bonus cash. Plus, get free maintenance on all 2023 models and make no payment for 90 days. And check out the big selection of great-looking pre-owned vehicles at Classic Ford of Shelby, 1775 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at classicfordofshelby.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin the Gang. I believe they're going to start NFL now, if I heard them
we're doing
correctly.
baseball now, JP. You're wrong again.
Well, I heard NFL when they went to break, NFL and baseball. I knew you had a lot of baseball to talk about, so I thought, he'll probably start with...
You did good, JP.
Yeah, I know.
Great job.
I try.
I've got a ton of baseball stuff to go through, so we're just gonna, instead of talking standings and stuff, we're gonna roll through these and just make comments and do whatever. We'll go with the flow, however you want to say it. Let's see. Let's start here.
He's not up at 414.
Yeah, Terry, this was 3 days ago.
That's good. He's fail.
Okay. A couple days ago, Luis, how you say it? Arraez.
Yeah, or something like
was
that.
Was batting 414. No qualified Major League Baseball hitter had a higher batting average on balls in play because now we got to qualify. Now, here's the advanced statistics. This is what's so funny about them. They tell you batting average doesn't mean anything. But then they'll turn around and tell you that batting average on balls in play counts.
I don't explain that to me.
Yeah.
Batting average includes everything. You know what a batting average is, right?
Yeah.
Batting average of balls in play is your batting average when the balls that you actually hit. So it doesn't count strikeouts and that. So. But that's why
they got to have something to go against those number of strikeouts that are showing up in the league.
We're going to get to this in a minute. Rod Carew this week was the champion of Twitter. Let me just put it that way. We're going to get to Rod Carew in just a few minutes. He won Twitter this week, but this is part of this. No Major League Baseball player has had a higher average on balls in play time since Roger Hornsby in 1924. Hornsby, if you don't know, is the last player to hit or only player to hit like 400 like 5 times. 424 is the highest ever. That's Roger Hornsby. Max Muncy has a batting average on balls in play of 180. And no Major League Baseball players ever had one that bad. So a historic season on both ends. Arraez, no one's ever had one that high since 1924. And Muncy, no one's ever been as bad as him.
So I guess
in the history of baseball.
If you pop out in foul territory, that doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay. But I know Arraez is now
whatever they want to make
yesterday. He had failed a 397.
All right, this is the this is the Rod Carew. So Carew's on the internet, and this guy. So we'll start here. Arraez hitting 400 with 2 home runs, and he's more interesting than a boatload of generic launch angle heroes jacking 30 homers a year. We banned the shift because hitters chose not to adapt, which is BS. And then here comes the new age guys. Imagine thinking, one, that hitters chose not to adapt to fastballs, blah, 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 then agreeing with this logic. With all due respect, Mr. Carew, but you rarely face pitchers who threw this hard. No one in your era did. Now, this is him responding, Rod Carew saying that guy's right. So Carew responds back, so many baseball geniuses who think they know baseball go because they read about it. Go polish your calculator.
Yeah.
So now there's an actual petition out to remake Rod Carew's plaque in the Baseball Hall of Fame to include "Go polish your calculator." And this guy kept going on with him. He told him he wasn't an all-time great hitter.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
Because this is what they're arguing with now. This guy's arguing with Rod Carew about hitting. And they went back and forth with each other. I'm trying to see if I can find some of Carew's responses. But I was laughing my butt off this week.
It's just amazing because, I mean, he's one of the first people that I bring up all the time as far as hitting Rod Carew.
Right.
I mean, he could hit.
I
he's
never
in
saw
the
him
same
play, but
thing
everybody.
with Tony Gwynn.
Right.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
I think it was a career 320 hitter, 324 might be what it is. Let's see if I can find. I know I've got another one somewhere with him in there, but man, they were just going back and forth with that stuff this week on that, and I just thought that was fantastic with Carew telling him to go polish this calculator. There have been 1,000 instances, 100,000 times in modern baseball where Major League Baseball team had both fewer total hits and fewer total walks than its opponents over a 10-game span. Only one time in Major League history did that team win every one of those games. Do y'all follow?
Let's go at it again. There have been over.
There's been over 100,000 times in the history of baseball a Major League team had fewer hits and fewer walks than its opponents during a 10-game span. Only one team that did that over those 100,000 times actually won all 10 of those games.
So every game you got out.
Not every game, a total. Total. A 10-game span. Over a 10-game span in Major League history, the Reds are the only team to be out-hit and have fewer walks and win all of them.
Yeah,
That's the easier way to say it, I guess.
They've won 12 now.
Well, I don't know if they've done the walks and hits.
That's the reason I wore this, because they swept my Kansas City, and for you, Zach, I thought you'd be here. Cincinnati Reds. There you go.
So now he's a Reds fan.
He's a bandwagon.
Yeah, I noticed.
I tell you what, though, I would love to see the Braves play a full season in that Cracker Jack box that the Reds play in. See how many home runs they'd hit then. It'd be absurd.
I'm gonna pull up give me a Carew stats here in a minute on him, but
before the game ever started last night, they said there's gonna be a lot of runs scored. They knew that. Neither team could stop.
Oh, when the Braves went up 5-0, I thought this ain't gonna win it. The 5 runs is not gonna win this game.
7-time batting champion, 18-time All-Star, MVP one season, career batting average of 328, and this guy told him he's not one of the best hitters of all time. To his face. Like, he responded to Rod Carew and said, you're not one of the best hitters ever. You only have 92 home runs.
The thing is, me with that, too, he talks about the 100-mile-per-hour fastball and all that, but then you watch a kid like Bryce Elder, who's pitching for the Braves now, whose fastball maybe tops out at 93, but he knows how to place the baseball.
Yeah.
And you think about, okay, so you tell me Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine and those guys couldn't pitch against these hitters today?
Yeah, they could.
No.
Yeah, they could.
No.
I'm telling you
what.
No.
You know why? It's not that they couldn't pitch against the hitters, Rob. It's because of K-zone. It's because they wouldn't get the nowhere near the number of strikes that they got back in the day, because the K-zone, people would have a fit today.
Well, they might have a fit. Now, listen.
The umpires don't give them the pitchers 5 inches off anymore.
Yeah, but now listen. Average umpire, even that one guy got rated at a 93, and he missed 23 pitches.
I get it. But what I'm saying is that
over the whole game, but he got rated at 93.
They didn't have the zone, the Q zone back then. I'm not saying they wouldn't have adapted. I'm just saying it would have been a little bit different because of that. I think the K zone ruins baseball. Actually, I don't think it's accurate. There's no way you can tell me that that's accurate. We got an invisible square hanging over air. Like in the end zone, you got a line. First down markers, you have a line. This is just a magical.
Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux would have hit them pinpoint corners.
Yep, they'd hit. They would
have hit them.
But Terry, the problem is, yes, you're right. But the problem is at 90 miles per hour, and they would have, the batters today is what they're arguing. They're used to hitting 100, would have done better off hitting those guys. You can't tell me if they would have brought it in the zone, they would have been just as good as throwing it out of the zone. How many batters sit there and watch a Greg Maddux changeup missed by a foot get called strike 3? Or the same thing with Glavine. He got a lot of those too. That's why Smoltz wasn't as good as those two, because he didn't throw softballs a foot outside. He couldn't get his fastballs called like this. Like Glavine would throw that lefty, and Avery did too till he started being bad. They throw that far off the plate, and you know as well they wouldn't give that today. You know it. They hammer that today. Albert Pujols would hammer that. Tom Glavine, he'd hammer Tom Glavine.
I still said they would.
Because he hammers left.
I go back to Bryce Elder. If his kid's doing it,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
Masters
It can be done.
Yeah.
Who's Bryce Elder?
For the Braves, this pitch is so good. I think he's 4-1, 2.3 ERA or something like that. I do have a question. Since I got some umpires sitting here, this is something we actually talked about. I think me and Coach talked about on the air one time. Does it impact the umpire where he sits up behind the catcher based on the shoulder? Will that change your perspective of the strike zone?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's if it's a right-hand batter, you put your left hand in what's called the left foot in the slot, and you get over like his left shoulder. And for a left-hand batter, you do the opposite. Your right foot goes in the slot. Where you get into trouble is when that catcher sets up inside.
Right.
So now he's taking your slot away. So now you have to get up higher. You have to get up higher to see the zone. And then that's when you might get the foul ball into your throat.
Gotcha.
Because you're up higher.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's, I don't know how you feel, Terry, but I always feel, I don't like admitting this, but I always feel I see the pitch better with a right-handed batter than I do a left-handed batter. It's just one of those things. I just feel like the way you set up, I just feel like I'm seeing it better from one side than the other.
Maybe. I'm not going to say yay or nay, but I maybe.
Yeah, it just depends. You do have to set up different. You do have to step in a different slot.
Gotcha.
I just don't like it when they open it up and he goes way inside and you're like, I'm free. Just nail me. Let's hope you can catch.
Yeah.
Which, in Major League Baseball, they got great catchers. Because I cannot get over there behind him, you know what I'm saying?
No, it changes perspective a little bit. When
does.
they cut out your slot, when they line up inside, is when it gets tough.
Okay.
Yeah, and in softball, it's even worse because you'll have a lot of them that want to pick somebody off, and they're squaring. They already up in your face.
Yeah.
And you're trying to see the pitch.
Imagine.
You know.
Well, I have a rule. You stand up and block me, you don't get the pitch.
Man,
it's just the way it is. You stand up, block me, you ain't getting the pitch.
ERA in save situations this year. ERA in save situations. How about Houston is number 1.
Pittsburgh's lost like 10 or 11 in a row.
Yeah,
we're so bad they don't even put us on.
Well, Terry, we're on the second sheet here. In save situations, y'all have a 5.3 ERA.
Buddy,
that is
great.
just god awful.
We're terrible. I'm telling you. We're going to give up
That's a
that
save situation. That's like, we might win this game, boys. Nope.
And see, we got Chapman. Think of that.
We ain't that much better. 4.5. Braves at 3.84, amazingly, with a good record.
I'd like to know what Greinke's record is now. I know at one time he was way down. He was like 1-5. He might be like 1-8, 1-9 now.
Here's the official legal names of Major League Baseball teams. Just kind of random. The Atlanta National League Baseball Club, LLC.
Sounds like a soccer team.
The Cleveland Guardians Baseball Company, Tom. How does that make you feel? Does that make your stomach rumble?
At least Kansas City is
Cleveland
legit.
Guardians Baseball Company.
Right.
I mean,
Look at St. Louis. St. Louis Cardinals, LLC. Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Y'all the Washington,
that's
Washington
legit.
Football Club.
How about the Mets? The Mets can't even get that right.
How about the Phillies? That's the best one. The Phillies. Padres is just
Ours
Padres
is simple.
LLB. Pittsburgh Associates. Those are some pretty good ones. I didn't actually read through all of them, and those are some funnies. I didn't actually think there'd be anything funny in there, but those are pretty good. The Phillies. That's just it.
And like somebody's going to call them that. No, that's wrong.
Detroit Tigers Inc. That's what they all should be. Detroit Tigers Inc. Kansas City. Sterling Mets. There you go. Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club Limited Partnerships. Boston Red Sox Baseball Club Limited Partnerships.
Sounds like soccer.
All right,
Yeah,
Tom,
exactly.
I got some Cleveland Guardians complaints. This guy says Cleveland's best defensive shortstop is playing second base. Their second best defensive shortstop is raking in AAA, while their third best defensive shortstop is playing right field, and their fourth best defensive shortstop hasn't played in 4 days. So we're putting Ahmed Rosario, who has a -10 DRS, whatever that means, this year at shortstop. That's batting second, playing shortstop. Does that make any sense to you?
The problem is they've had injuries in their starting pitching and they can't hit. I mean, that's their problem. I mean, outside of Ramirez, Naylor's pretty good too, but they're just not hitting the way a contender hits. That's all. I mean,
this guy's not happy about your shortstop situation.
I mean, when Tristan McKenzie's been hurt and Savali's been hurt, Kevin, you just can't. When you're a team like the Indians, you just can't have starting pitchers go down, man. You just can't. Now, the kid from East Carolina pitched against Oakland the other day, and I think got the win. It was his debut. I think he's from out in the middle of the state. Gosh, I can't remember where he went to high school, but East Carolina product, and started for Cleveland and got the win. Of course, against Oakland, which everybody gets wins against. We swept Oakland. There's a couple of 1-run games, I think, when we beat Oakland, and then, of course, Milwaukee clobbers us. Cleveland's a team that if we played San Diego, you're going to lose 2 out of 3. You're going to play Milwaukee, probably going to lose 2 out of 3. You play the A's, you're going to sweep them. But, you can't. That's why you're in the middle of the pack, right? That's why you're in the middle of the pack. If you get clobbered by the good teams and beat the bad teams, you're middle of the pack. That's where we are.
Speaking of East Carolina and Cleveland County connection, I did see C.J. Mayhew got called up to Single A.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And he'll be playing in San Bernardino, California for the Inland Empire 66ers. So congratulations, C.J., getting the call up to Single A.
If you guys had to guess, the highest slugging percentage as a Yankee in Yankee history. One guess from all three of you, real quick. Highest slugging percentage in Yankees history.
Highest slugging?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. They still use slugging? Is that okay to use that?
Well, they usually add it to OPS to make an OPS.
OPS is the one I always forget.
YRC plus
On
XYZ.
base plus slugging. I always forget that one.
The baseball statisticians have more letters in the.
That's all TV. Used to be when you watch a game on
model.
TV, they'd show the lineup and give your average. Now everything's OPS. Nobody gives the average anymore.
It is.
Give me a guess. Come on, Yankees all time. Just guess. Y'all heard of Yankees before, haven't you?
Jeez. Has to be Babe Ruth.
That's a good guess. He's made the top 5.
Lou Gehrig?
He's told you one.
He's third.
Reggie Jackson.
Mickey Mantle is 6th. Reggie Jackson is not in the top 6.
Aaron Judge.
He's 4.
Derek Jeter.
No.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
DiMaggio's 5. We've missed number 1. Nobody's named Yankee great Matt Carpenter.
Oh, wow.
Matt Carpenter is the
one.
all-time qualified slugging percentage batter in Yankee history at 727. So Ruth 2, Gehrig. Matt Carpenter's 1, Babe Ruth 2, Lou Gehrig 3, Aaron Judge 4, DiMaggio 5, and Mickey Mantle number 6. Matt Carpenter, retire his number, guys. Retire his number.
The house that Carpenter built.
All right, Terry, you're not gonna like this one either, probably. I think. I know. No, we're not gonna like this one. No, Pittsburgh. This is the funny one. Remember, last time a team had a 40 home run player. 40 home run player. Kansas City had one 2 years ago in 2001.
Yeah, Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He leads the all-time in catchers.
Cleveland hasn't had a 40 home run hitter since 2006. Tom, do you even know who that is? I don't. I'm asking you. 2010 St. Louis, I'm guessing that's Albert. Since the last time Cardinals have. The last time in the worst streak in baseball history, guys, the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1973.
Wow.
The Pittsburgh Pirates with Bonds, Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, McCutcheon.
Wow.
Have not had a 40 home run season since 1973. I don't know who that was.
I have no idea.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Clemente wasn't alive then, was he?
70.
Clemente died in a plane crash, right?
Yeah.
We'll pull it up real quick. Here they are, 1973. Pittsburgh Pirates. Home runs.
It's amazing how you can just pick up any team and instantly have all the stats.
Willie Stargell. Willie Stargell was the last one.
I remember when I was a kid, you still had to go to the library because these all
almanacs.
They
had the latest one.
Right.
Willie Stargell with 44 home runs.
44.
Batted .299 that season with 119 RBIs.
That wasn't even the We Are Family. The We Are Family was in the late 70s, wasn't it?
I think
so. Yeah, when they had those
Dave
good
Parker
teams.
And all.
Yeah, when there was good teams in the late 70s.
So that's a big stat there, long stat there. So thought that one was pretty.
I can't believe somebody had a higher slugging percentage than Babe Ruth.
Than everybody. Oh, that was the big argument this week. You talked about the whole pitchers and hitters of old times.
I'd like to know their at bats.
They were talking about could Ruth hit today?
You know?
And they were saying he'd be worse than Kyle Schwarber was the big argument yesterday. They said Kyle Schwarber would be Babe Ruth.
You have to put things into perspective too. You know what I mean? At the time, I mean, if Babe Ruth was here today, I guarantee you he wouldn't be having 8 cheeseburgers and 6 cigars and 10 beers every day. I mean, it just wouldn't do it. You know, he just wouldn't do it. I mean, you know,
I think people that see video in black and white think that people actually were black and white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they see a Wilt Chamberlain dunking or something like, and then you see a color picture. Have you? Let me see. I'm pulling this up.
I mean, but get back. Natural ability is natural ability.
Absolutely.
You can't sit here and tell me that Babe Ruth didn't have just natural ability. That of course you have to adapt to the times, and I just feel that he would have if he was here today.
Well, and I tell you, one of my biggest arguments with that is watching when I go and watch softball home run derbies.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the old guys back in the day that would use wooden bats and were basically hitting rolled up socks and hitting them 600 feet.
Yeah.
And I think if I put a metal bat in these guys' hands with the way the softballs are made now, they'd kill somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, so it just, you know, like you said, it's all in perspective.
You know, they talk about bigger, faster, stronger. This is Oscar Robertson.
Jeez.
What squat was he that he would do today that would make him bigger, faster, stronger than that?
It'd be scary.
I mean, look at those legs. People on the radio, I've got a picture of Oscar Robertson doing a split basically in midair, going for a ball. But, I mean, it's just there's the zoomed out photo. I wanted to zoom in. I just wanted to zoom in just to show the muscle definition. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain was a high jumper, right? Wasn't he the one that was a high jumper?
But he's at your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kareem was a black belt. I mean,
yeah.
Black belt. Not, hey, I'm just out here having fun like Mark Zuckerberg out here, but get whooped in his blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Elon Musk takes him on.
Jabbar was a black belt. Like the some of those guys were athletes. You're not telling me Jim Thorpe, Jim Brown were athletes. Now here's the trivia question of the day, guys. Name me the only MVP in baseball history that never made an all-star team.
Wow.
Excuse me?
The only MVP in baseball history that never made an all-star team. Hint, it was while I was alive.
I have no idea.
That's
amazing.
I don't even know where to start. Yeah, that's
made an all-star team. 1980s is my next hint. Anybody got any MVP guesses from the 80s?
Not one that didn't make an all-star.
It wasn't Merkel that pulls the boner. Kirk Gibson.
Really?
Kirk Gibson, 1988 MVP, was not an All-Star that season or any season in his career.
Kirk Gibson was never an All-Star.
That's what the internet
How
says.
about that? Well, I mean, we only see when he comes up and he's about broken-legged and he hits
hit
the
one
home
out.
run.
That's the only thing you see of
what
him
I'm
now.
saying. I mean, he's famous for that. So,
But yeah, that was the big arguments this week on this stuff with the guy hitting 400 and arguing the war and this and that with Rod Carew and all that about batting average, and it just blows my mind that you're going to sit here and tell me that someone hitting 230 homers is better than someone hitting 350 and 10. Like I just
pull up that guy and see what he's batting now. I know he had fell to 397.
Reyes,
yeah, but now they played last night, so I mean, did he fall even further?
Here's a
after
question:
a game?
how many stolen bases would Ricky Henderson have with the new?
You know what?
with
You
the
know
new
what? I'm
bases?
glad you brought that up because I was at LP Franz Stadium doing some baseball a couple weeks ago, and it's just I went to dust off
42.
second base, and I'm like, this thing looks like a pizza box. I mean, the thing is huge, which they're using in the minor leagues. I mean, it's not just a little difference, Robbie. It is, huge. The bases are huge now, huge. Now, high school and college is still using smaller bases.
Still using smaller bases.
But I looked at those bases and I'm like, holy, because I didn't notice it till I went to kick the dust off of it. I'm like, I'm going to be kicking dust off this for 30 minutes. This thing's
I'm telling you.
You not have a brush?
That is such a softball thing. You unmanly softball guys go out on the bases with a brush. I mean, that is the dumbest thing. When I go to a
I was
softball
always
game,
taught it's lazy to use your feet.
I
to
go-
kick. You're supposed to use a brush like a professional.
Bend over.
not
Thank
for
you, Terry.
Bend over.
Thank you,
Terry.
you put the
Nobody
brush-
in their right mind wants to see you bend over.
You put
Okay.
the brush. You
Let me
squat.
Besides,
like this.
you
Squat
don't
with your
take
legs.
a
You don't
brush
bend
out
over.
there. You don't
People-
take a brush on the bases,
People
Terry.
look at me all the time and says, "I'm glad you do that."
You
Because
also
a lot
wear-
of them walk out there and
Yeah.
kicking the dirt off. Do you do that at home plate? Walk out there with your foot?
No,
Okay, then.
you don't walk out on the bases with a brush. It's the stupidest thing.
That's not the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Terry, that's the stupidest. That's the most stupidest, unmanly thing I've ever seen is a brush
that's
on
the
the
beautiful
base.
thing of this show. I bring up Ricky Henderson, and we end up talking about brushing bases. It's a beautiful thing.
No, it's not beautiful. You know how frustrating that is.
I mean,
I ain't got a question answered in years.
Robbie, the softball guys go out with a brush and brush off like the pitching rubber. It's so stupid. Look at it. Like you guys look like complete idiots. And every once in a while, we'll have a softball guy try to come and do baseball and do that. And a lot of times it's like, do not take your plate brush out. I mean, guys going on the bases, Robbie, with their ball bags. I mean, it's like, you're an idiot. Just you look so bad. You look so stupid. But anyway.
that is so dumb.
Now you are dumb. All right, this is
I
dumb
tell
for
you.
you to argue.
That is so dumb.
So what did y'all think about this play at the plate that was overcalled?
Overturned.
Whatever.
He gave access to the base.
He did.
He did.
That's not what the replay says.
Because he was on one side and went to the other. Wasn't that what happened?
He gave access to the base.
Yeah. There's no way. This guy could have not did anything better, and I don't blame the guy that got tossed to. I'm like, you're an idiot.
They went to replay, Terry. They said he blocked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
up in New York.
he was safe
So-
anyway.
All right, so
Is it just me or does baseball miss more plays with the replay than happens? Because it seems to happen a lot in baseball where you're like, wait a minute, what are y'all looking at?
so what's the actual rule?
He's gotta be
wording
out in
on blocking the plate.
Here's the best thing that I was
is it in
ever
different
taught.
leagues and stuff too.
Possession of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay? Possession of the ball.
Okay.
If you can get that through, if you do not possess the ball, you may not block the plate.
Exactly.
Okay.
And to
Possession is
me,
everything.
he did not.
So here's I got a question on this. So let's say there's going to be a play at the plate and the ball's coming in, right? And the catcher is sitting on his butt in the batter's box, completely blocking the plate without hold on, without the ball. Runner's running down third. The throw comes in, and about the split second before the player runs into that catcher, the catcher catches the ball. They run into each other. They both fall on home plate. What would be the call on that?
That'd be your judgment, man. I mean,
it's at
what's the rule though?
By rule, he possessed the ball before he got there, so he can block the plate. If he possesses
then you can block the plate, unless there's contact.
He has the right to go get the ball.
You always do this, Kevin.
No, but you have.
I know.
Right. But
he does this every time.
Is that not a legitimate question? Rob?
He
gets
he
mad
answers,
because I ask a legitimate question.
Here we go.
He's like a typical coach who asks a question, but he already has his own answer in mind. So when you give him your answer, yes, you do. You do it every time.
Okay, Okay, here we go.
Go ahead.
Rob, I'm going to ask you because I don't even know why Tom's mad at me. So the ball.
I'm not mad at you.
So the guy, you can't be called for blocking the plate until there's contact, correct?
Yeah. I mean,
okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no call. There's nothing to call, is what I'm asking.
Correct.
Based on the situation I asked, there's nothing to call until there was contact.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he would have made contact before the ball got there, it would have been blocking the play.
Correct.
But you can block it with the ball as soon as it gets there.
Possession of the ball.
So it's all based on
possession of.
Okay. Now, with that said, if I'm the runner and the guy sitting on the plate blocking it like I said he was, right? What should I do as the runner if the runner slows up and does the runner supposed to slow up and like, he's blocking the plate? What do I do? Because as a kid would do that, right?
Right.
Because this guy's in my way. Do I stop? Do I go around? Do I run through him? So that's my question.
Can't run through
because it's such a bang play. What is the runner's responsibility in that situation? Is that because my situation is. This guy is completely blocking the plate without the ball. But I'm saying the ball's coming and we're running, the ball's coming and we're running, and he's blocking. As a runner, what should I be thinking I should do? Because if he catches it, he can block it. But if he don't and I run into him, I'm safe because he's blocking it.
What would I teach my kid? 2 things. Don't slow down, get down. That's all. Don't slow down, get down. Because if you don't slow down and you truck him, malicious contact supersedes obstruction. So it's what you tell kids. Do not slow down, get down. Because if you slide into the plate and take his feet out, guess what? That's on him. That's on the catcher. He's supposed to be out of the way. You'll see it a lot of times, too, at first base where the guy's in the way because he's expecting, like, say, a ball's hit sharp to the shortstop. So he'll get there on first base. Then it gets by, and then you got some dum-dums who stand there. And then they get hit, then you got obstruction. But a lot of them have been coached, okay, ball's in the outfield, take 3 steps in and get out of the way. Because he's okay there as long as he gets out of the way in time. So that's all I would – and if rounding first, what I teach my kids, if that dum-dum's standing there, brush him.
Yep.
Right. Now, don't put your arms up and hit him, but I'd brush him and point, hey, I had a guy –
So if the guy – okay, so this was my situation a couple years ago, but the catcher was sitting right here. So I should have told him to slide into him 3 feet away from home plate.
Don't slide down and get down. I would. Get down.
I just want to know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird rule that I'm not blocking, but I am blocking it. And as soon as the ball gets there, then I technically can. And as a runner, there is no way to make that stop judgment. Like, what should I do? And that's what I want to know. Like, what can a runner do on that if it's not until like that split second where I catch the ball? Even though I was blocking before and it's technically not legal, but I'm not having it, we haven't made contact. But then I catch it, then there's contact, like boom, boom. And technically you were blocking. And
on this play, did they ever come back and identify how come? Because to me, I'm with the same thing. If I am the umpire, I'm calling him out too. Because to me, the plate's there. You see it. He has ever access to getting to that plate.
So you can't block in Major League Baseball?
You know. Do what?
So what's the call?
He's not blocking.
Call here?
He's not blocking. The plate's wide open for him.
I know, but so you can't block in baseball in Major League now? Because we were just talking that you can block
cannot
if you have
be
the
in
ball.
front of it. If you got possession, then you cannot you got to be on one side or the other. You cannot totally block the plate.
Could block it with possession.
With possession, you can block the plate. With possession. Now,
so what's he getting called for then? I'm so confused.
Well,
okay. Look at the picture, Kevin.
Yeah.
See how there's access to the plate?
Yes.
Right.
That's the other thing. Access to the plate. Without possession of the ball, you must provide what's called access to the plate. So he's blocking part of the plate, but he is still giving access to the plate. Now, getting back to your earlier question, you made me think. It's just kind of like batter's interference. Like if he swings in front of the plate and blocks the catcher and there's no contact, but he can't throw it, it's still interference. You can still have obstruction without contact. So you do not have to have physical contact. So say your kid, it doesn't want to run into the guy. So he stops and goes around him. You can still call obstruction as the umpire. You don't have to have contact. Doesn't have to be contact.
Well, my kid stopped.
You can call obstruction.
Like what I'm saying. The catcher was sitting 3 feet in front of the plate.
You can call obstruction.
The catcher's my size. The runner's this size.
Right.
The kid's not going to run into this giant. So
you can
like
call
I said, he runs up to him, the ball catcher, like I'm talking about foot from he stopped like, what do I do? And I'm like, he's blocking. I'm like, no, he's not blocking. That was the right. He said not blocking the plate. And I'm like, well, either he's not blocking or he's blocking. I still couldn't understand. Well, I just want to know what the right call is, so I know. I don't want to argue something stupid.
Yeah.
I just want to be like, well, so So
I want to know what they saw.
Let's stop real quick. Can or can you not block home plate?
He's not blocking. He's still not blocking.
With the ball, yes.
Okay. So they called this safe and said he was blocking the plate, I guess, without the ball?
Without the ball.
But there was no play to play with. There was nothing to block without the ball, correct? Because there was no play yet.
I don't understand what they called here. I just tell you, I just don't understand what they called.
Tom, on the same play, you'd have called the kid out too.
Yeah.
But
me too.
All right, with the ball, you don't have to give them home plate?
No.
Okay. That's what I want to make sure.
Yeah.
So they just, nobody knows what they called on this one then. We're all agreeing on that one.
I have no idea. I mean, he's got access to the base.
Okay.
I mean, see, look at the access to the base.
You see the access
he has access to the base.
But either way, the guy hadn't even made contact to home yet, so how could you even call blocking? Because now he has the ball, and he's 5 feet away. So this is the same situation that happened to me, except the catcher was here.
Yeah.
Like, so did I not have more of an argument that he was blocking than they do?
If he's out front, I can't see where you're pointing at.
Oh, Terry,
yeah.
Can you see my mouse over here?
Yeah, there you go.
My catcher was like right there. I mean, the catcher was like way out here. He was in the box, like on the left side of the box, basically, sitting on the line.
Then you've got something. You don't. I don't understand why they had something here.
So whoever that umpire was 2 years ago, I was right.
Okay.
No, but this was a big argument this week, and I was like, I don't even know the rules.
It should have been. I don't.
Who's right on this.
I don't
think the umpire was right with what he called
on the play.
Yeah,
you're out.
You're out.
I thought. I mean,
he has access.
Yeah, I think the play was
correct.
Dude,
you're hosed by 5 feet. What do you want me to?
No, he wasn't hosed by 5 feet. That was a close play.
What do you mean?
Watch the ball. Watch the hand. Watch the hand. Now that's
hosed by 5 feet.
Watch the rest of the play, Kevin.
No, Tom. When I say hosed by 5 feet, means the ball got there and you're 5 feet away.
That's what I'm wondering now. Did Major League Baseball call him safe because they thought he got in under the
Tom,
tag?
When the ball gets there 5 feet before you that's what that means. You got hosed by 5 feet. Just because he's an idiot and made a bad tag don't mean he didn't get hosed by 5 feet. That guy ain't even look. His feet's still in the grass.
Okay.
When the ball gets to the catcher.
Okay. See, but watch.
Like
the tag doesn't come down
right.
right there. I mean, that is close.
That may be where the safe call come in.
No, they called it obstruction.
They called him.
So they called it.
No, they called him out, Robbie. Watch.
The umpire calls him out.
The umpire
reviewed it and come back and said it was obstruction.
Right.
Okay.
Called him safe.
Yeah, they reviewed it and
That's
called
what
him
I
safe
thought. Maybe the review was they called him safe because he got in under the tag.
No, it's obstruction.
They said it was obstruction. Wow.
He has a crappy tag. You stink, kid.
Well, if I'm the umpire, then y'all need to show me again. I mean, I've lost something here because to me, he got him. He had access.
That's an easy out to me. I mean,
I don't know what more the catcher could have done.
Right. If I'm catching, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I tagged
Take
him.
my foot off the plate.
He didn't slide into my leg. He didn't slide into anything but my glove. That's the definition of legal tag, is it not?
Well, you know what you're going to end up
I
having?
can't explain why they called it. I mean,
you're going to end up having it where catchers stand over to the side and grab it, and then they're just going to dive. They're going to be one heck of a collision at home plate. What's going to happen?
Concussions galore.
Yeah, because they're going to be like, this is all I can do.
All right, guys, we'll come back. We'll finish up the show. We got NFL and more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. For the folks in Cherryville and Shelby, I'm sure you remember when the Western Steer was in your town, and we wish they were still here. But I've got good news. There's a Western Steer just a few minutes up the road in Newton. From Cherryville, hop on Highway 321 Business. And from Shelby, go Highway 18 to 10 to Newton. You get real comfort food, home-cooked style with down-home hospitality. Try their big unbeatable buffet or order from their menu. And they've got a party room for big groups. The Western Steer in Newton, 334 Southwest Boulevard in Newton at the Highway 10 and 321 Business intersection. Open Wednesday through Sunday. It's time for the Red, White, and Blue Sales Event, now through July 8th at Country Cabin Corner in Kings Mountain. During this time, you save thousands of dollars. For example, a brand new 2023 camper trailer starting at $99.95. No extra freight or prep fees added. And coming Wednesday, July 5th, is the American Red Cross Blood Drive from 2 until 6. Make your appointment by calling 704-734-0595 and give the gift of life. Don't miss the Red, White, and Blue sale at Country Cabin Corner, 101 Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Online at countrycamping.com. Like them on Facebook, too. It's Dodge season at Barberger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Shelby. Now get $3,250 total cash on select new 2023 Dodge Durango models. Plus, get $750 bonus cash when financed through Chrysler Capital or Stellantis Financial Services. And get $500 retail consumer cash on all new 2023 Dodge Hornet models. Yes, it's Dodge season at Barberger Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located at 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby.
Are you tired of looking for just a job and ready to find a career that will last you a lifetime? American Professional Driving Services are here to help. They are enrolling both weekday and weekend CDL classes right now. Their professional trainers have over 80 years of experience. American Professional Driving Services have great equipment and a state-of-the-art training facility. Call 855-85-DRIVE. Classes are filling up fast. That's 855-85-DRIVE. Call today.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back with Kevin and the gang. They're about to finish the show, so there you
derelict of duty.
Button boy.
I'm not usually the button boy, so forgive me.
Hey Anna, how are you? Are you here to talk Cleveland Browns football?
Well, you know, it's too bad. It's too bad. Jacob would definitely chime in on the NBA segment.
Jacob.
Yeah, that's Jacob. That's Anna's boyfriend. That's
like
Jacob Elliott.
Something Tom gave you?
That's not. That's he didn't. You were saying he didn't buy that shirt?
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, we've converted him. We've converted him.
Oh,
Browns.
Oh lordy. Oh
we
lordy.
do Browns and we do Buckeyes.
So you pull for the Buckeyes too, Jacob?
Jacob looks so happy.
I know. Jacob, I feel for you, young
Somebody
man.
got
I
a
feel
picture
for
of me
you.
in this brown shirt.
What in the world?
Jacob's like, what have I
What's
walked
going
into?
on here?
Dang it. All right. Well, anyway, welcome back to the.
It's like a swarm of bees, and they just brought you in.
Saturday Morning Sports Talk brought to you by McDonald's of Cherryville. Thanks for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Check them out today. You talking? Yeah. Anyway, y'all got me thinking of other things right now. These silly boys. ESPN checking out some football. So Brown's gonna win the Super Bowl, Tom?
No.
Well,
I'll answer for you.
Kevin, I'm to be 100% honest with you.
Yes.
The off season has just gotten so ridiculous. Talking about guys making great plays in shorts and shoulder pads.
Oh yeah.
It's like, no, I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear anything. They make their moves, right, Terry? They make their moves. They get their guys. They send this guy here. They bring a guy in. But Then they're like, oh, he made an outstanding play at OTAs. It's OTAs. You know what I mean? It's preseason stuff. Don't pay any attention to it. Game one, first snap. That's when you know somebody. All this, well, he's going to do this and he's going to do that and da-da-da-da-da.
Well, I'm going to be honest. My Eagle draft picks have looked exceptional on OTAs, so we're going to run with it.
But y'all
Robbie, please don't tell me you fall into this crap too.
Look,
Robbie, you don't fall into this crap.
I want to hear football news year round. Just tell me something. Tell me something. I'm going to eat it up. That's just where I'm at.
Hold up. Time out. Have you won a Super Bowl? Why the crap do we sit here and ask the Cleveland Brown fans, are y'all going to be in the Super Bowl this year?
You know something. Why are you here? I mean, it's just you say the same thing. We could just
every week.
We could just put a ventriloquist dummy here and just say the same thing. Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. Cleveland Browns will never win the Super Bowl.
Once I figure out how to type that in the chat GPT, I'm
I mean, that's all you can do.
Why would you ask that, Kevin?
It's just the same thing he does.
I mean,
every
y'all have never even touched
Terry
a Super Bowl.
Terry, are y'all making a Super Bowl?
Huh?
Are y'all making?
We've
a Super
won
Bowl?
5.
Are you making
Terry,
a Super Bowl?
We've
this
been
year?
will the Dallas Cowboys be in the Super Bowl in 2020?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
He says this every year, and they haven't been since '95. Give me a break. Give me a break. Every week, same thing. Every week. Come up with a new line.
Well, they keep asking you, are you going to make the Super Bowl?
We were talking about
a team
OTAs.
that's never made it.
And how Robbie likes it. I
just want
don't, Robbie. I'm just telling you.
Lordy.
Because it probably pops up on your phone.
It does.
It pops up on your phone. Look at this catch. This guy made a pair of shorts. You know, it's like, give me a break.
All right, so
give me a break.
So there's really nothing going on in the NFL right now.
Right. That's why.
So
you know what? That's why I'm glad he does it.
Just Wes Watkins has looked great in OTAs at wide receiver. Just to throw that out there.
And be careful.
Robbie.
Ezekiel Elliott went to talk to the Patriots. They're looking at $5 to $6 million. Listen, if they're going to give him that, he'll be back in Dallas. Dallas can afford the $5 or $6 million. He might still be
Why
behind.
Why would you want that fat running back in Dallas?
Who do you
for short yardage. He's got to understand his role.
You're telling me Ezekiel Elliott has to understand his role?
Yes, he's got to understand his role.
Sure. Why don't you have that conversation with him? Now, Zeke, you got to understand your role. You're our third down and one back.
So if he wants to pay,
Rob,
do you want to go to New England or do you want to go to Dallas? And I guarantee he'll choose Dallas.
Rob, Tom's favorite coach this week, Nick Saban, has some comments on the college football system. All we do is take the teams that win the most games at the end of the year and put them in the playoffs. But do you really get the best teams? When they told me that we would be favored against 3 of the 4 teams in the playoffs, well, I'm like, why aren't we in the playoffs?
Because you
didn't. Hold on. Has he ever seen another sport? Any other sport? Listen to what he just said. All we do is take the teams that win the most games and put them in the playoffs. Yes.
That is kind of the
that's
definition.
How it works.
Welcome to sports here, Nick. Is that
how
why
it
you
works.
fell in the NFL? You didn't know you wanted people to vote you in the playoffs? We were 5-11, Tom. Vote us in. Idiot. What is he talking about? This is you college elitists over here, Ohio State people. Well, look at our schedule. We beat this guy and this guy. We're 5-11, 6.
See what happens to me every week?
I'm just saying, you know what I mean. It's the college football stuff that.
When have I ever been?
I know. I'm just saying. This is the elitist college football think this way that we don't even have to win games. He said we can lose 3 games. We should be voted in because we're favored, Rob. Nothing we do he said nothing we do on the field matters. We're in the playoffs. Correct?
That's basically what
if the gambler's favors, dude's lost his mind.
He lost his mind a long time ago. Imagine how good any NFL team would be if they got 10 number 1 draft picks every year, which is basically what's he get. Get out of here, little Nicky. I don't know what he tells them, but whatever he tells them, he gets them to come there. I mean, I'm just telling you, whatever he tells them.
Well, this week, North Carolina's number 1 basketball player signed with Alabama.
Yeah, they did.
He lives in Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill area.
Yeah.
Really?
I can, from what I heard when Vari Green went down for his visit, Vari's wanting to do baseball and baseball and football both. And Maryland had already told Vari, yeah, you can do it here. And guess who Alabama just hired as a baseball coach? Maryland's baseball coach.
Really? Wow.
I mean, and so then you go back to this kid and say, hey, look what we just did.
I will say this. Vari can hit a ton, man. He can hit a baseball. I mean, I've seen him hit one out of Shelby High School Stadium.
So,
he can hit. Yeah.
But they put it, and it's like you said, and they said after the visit, Matt Brown called Vari and said, "Look, man, I thought you were a Carolina guy all the way." So, I mean, that's
if I were him and I'm not him, and he and his parents and everything have to decide what's best for him. If I were him, that's where I would go to school.
Where?
You know, I mean, I would go, somewhere in North Carolina. I mean, I would. Why is that funny? Would you not?
No.
Why would you not?
Why would you not? You're close to your family, you're close to your friends.
Willie lives in Atlanta.
You're going to get a good education.
He can get in the weight. They're legit.
Their football team isn't. He's been offered by Alabama. Like, this isn't like, hey, yo, let me go play for the Tar Heels. Alabama's want me to play football. Okay. I love you. I love the blue.
I think he'd be a star at Carolina.
That might.
Yeah, but what you got to go? You got to go to Alabama and sit on their bench.
Whoa! Why is that?
Not necessarily, but I'm telling you.
Why wouldn't he be a star?
If you're coming in as a freshman, your chances on being on the field is very few.
Let's remember who his daddy is. He's an former NFL player. He's got connections other these other wide receivers don't. That's why they're going to see. He's going to have NIL, all this stuff. He's getting paid. Whoever's going to pay him the most, that's where he's going. If Alabama's going to do it, that's where he is not the same as these other kids. Well, whether you think it's skill-wise or not, people see Willie Green or whoever's kid that's their son, we're making moves. There's no way I'd play in North Carolina football. Which team?
Play for Carolina?
Yeah, he could go to
play
Carolina.
For state.
Tom, name me one Carolina Tar Heel receiver who is good in the NFL.
Well, it could be Vari Green if he goes.
Well, it could be, but I'd go to Ohio State or Alabama, where every wide receiver that goes in the NFL is pretty good.
And you're going to be seen on national television every week.
Right. Ain't no way.
No matter who you play.
Ain't no way.
But like I'm saying, that's a decision for him and his parents to make. I know that if I know that
the baseball thing's a big factor. What Robbie's talking that and the NIL. Okay, if you got an Alabama booster, it says I want to pay him to come here. It might be it if it's a football guy. But if you want to play baseball, you got to go to a school that's going to allow you to play. That's got to be one of the few. But if Alabama's saying you can play baseball and football here, then he can play baseball and football anywhere. Because if Alabama's going to allow it, I assume that
baseball, football makes more sense than like football, basketball.
Yes,
you know what I mean, because it's easier for them to do that.
Yeah. He should sign with Charlotte. That's what he should do.
Yeah,
bring that.
Hey, he can come to UNC
bring
Charlotte.
That program
I mean, he can come to UNC Charlotte. Hey, all the green stuff he's got now, I'm
just guessing, Rob, and you can confirm for me. I'm just guessing if he's getting offered as a wide receiver at Alabama, he's pretty good.
Not too bad.
Right? They don't. They don't have. I know that it's a revolving door, and I hate how they do it in certain places. But at some point,
Hey, here's what's crazy is because I don't follow recruiting a lot, but I have with him being a local kid and stuff. Talking to some folks, I think he's a 3.5 star now. If he gets one more offer and the rumor is he may get an offer from Georgia. If that offer comes in, it's probably going to bump him to a 5-star just off of offer. Not off the play, but that's exactly what happens. And here's what's crazy is you look at it, and I've heard it, like when a kid signs with Duke football that may have been rated a certain star, their star level drops. And that's how crazy this recruiting process is in college football.
I don't understand it anyway, Robbie. I don't know, like what are the metrics on?
How do you get your stars?
How do you determine who's a 1, 2, 3, 4 star? Do they do 1-star recruits?
Yeah. Yeah, you can be ranked to
1 star. That's probably what I was in high school. I'm sure I was a 1 star. 1 star.
Tom, you got brought up in a meeting the other day, by the way.
What meeting?
Your career accomplishment of pushing Leon Johnson out of bounds.
Oh, I was good at that.
I had a guy that I was recommended that might want to broadcast with us, and I was told I was sitting there with the guy and the guy that was recommending, and he said, "This guy right here, he was a punter and kicker in high school." And I said, "Well, he's no." Before he got done talking, I said, "We have way too many of those on the KTC roster. We can punt and kick with the best of them." And he goes, "Oh, we played safety stuff too." I said, "Oh, okay, so you played real football a little bit." So he's back on the list of being able to play. But I did say, "No, we've got the kickers on our team. One of them even tackled Leon Johnson one time."
Had more Morgan at Freedom High School. Remember that.
Oh, goodness. All right. The Jabari thing, I forgot about the baseball stuff, though, Rob. So that is gonna make a difference. But, again, when you got famous or NFL dads and stuff, it's not that if you're good as them, it's you got different connections. And there's money and stuff involved behind the scenes that, other kids might not know or have opportunities with. Let's see. I thought I had one more. He also said something else stupid. I can't remember. I was going to finish it up with it, but I know Tom loves talking
Nick
about
Saban's stupidity. I mean, he is a great, great recruiter. I'm not going to doubt his football knowledge, but then he says stupid things, which I cannot stand. Like, everybody needs to feel sorry for me because I didn't get that.
So Brian Kelly's complaining about name, image, and likeness. Brian Kelly, one of the dirtiest people probably in college sports, who takes every dollar he can to go to this team, this one. Guys, these players are getting paid too much. We can't have this.
Yeah, we can't have them. I mean, Nick Saban's the highest paid state employee in the state of Alabama, but we can't have, Johnny trying to buy his mama a house.
Isn't Kelly the second most paid coach in college football now or something like that?
It's got to be close.
He's getting paid like $10, $11 million a year. Dion won't have his foot amputated right now, but he did have another blood clot and it's growing that they're working on. So he's having some health issues with that. So folks kind of keep up with that. I think he's going to be okay. I guess he's going to be okay for the season and start that they're saying, but you never know with blood clots and things like that. I don't know any other details on that. You guys got any other news and notes? I think I've gotten through almost all my fun tweets of the day.
I want to say something. I know we've mentioned him a few times during the year. Lane Hoover finished up his career at ECU this past weekend. Well, the weekend before, but he holds the all-time record in games played, batting average at .314. He finished with 252 career hits, 186 runs, batted .416 career on base percentage. Hoover drove in 143 runs. But the biggest stat that I got out of this, in the 1922 season, Hoover was the 23rd hardest guy to strike out in college baseball. And to me, that's phenomenal. I don't care. When you're the 23rd hardest guy, there's a lot of college baseball players, guys.
That means he's not any good, though, Terry. You're not keeping up with the new stats.
Okay.
You're supposed to strike out.
What's his WAR?
You're supposed to strike out, not put the ball in play.
When I saw that, I said, that's kind of impressive. Very impressive.
Not to the kids today. Not to the kids today. They'd rather you strike out. Honestly, that is the argument. Jordan Walker got sent to the minors because he hit too many balls in play. He was hitting too many ground balls. He had an 11-game hitting streak. They sent him to the minors. He comes back and has a 13-game hitting streak. All because of WAR and the advanced statistics.
WAR.
Just stupid. All right, have a happy Saturday, everybody.
Yeah, we're going up to the Whitewater Center.
July 4th, what you going to do with the Whitewater? JP.
Not one, but...
JP. Easy. What are you doing with the Whitewater Center, Tom? Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been. I think we're going to do whitewater rafting and zip lines.
Has he never been?
I've been to the Whitewater Center, baby. Almighty.
I'm not in between none of that.
Have you been whitewater rafting before? I've never been either. I've never been in the water.
All right.
Well, climbing walls? I've been climbing walls. You get you get up there and you're like, man, that was a nice accomplishment. That was wasted all my time and energy.
Cleveland Browns going to the Super Bowl this
year? Yes.
Stupid.
If Sean Watson can stay out of prison.
Say bye. Wave to the camera.
That's right, Jake.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Have a good day.
KDC Broadcasting.
All right.
Chosen breed, you don't see too many like me, cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you, cause